All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's edition of a Throwback Thursday live stream on the channel. Sorry that this has taken a couple days. It is obviously no longer Thursday. It is, in fact, Saturday afternoon. But we are going to get this stream underway very, very quickly here. No major pre-race stuff going on, I guess, if you would say. This is our pre-race, I guess, technically, to the NASCAR Xfinity Series live stream that we'll have a little bit later tonight. That will start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our live commentary coverage there. So because that is the case, got to make sure we get through this one pretty quickly. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Usually every week we watch a throwback NASCAR race depending on what track they will be going to. So next week NASCAR will be at Talladega, so we'll watch a Talladega throwback race that following week. Appreciate everybody tuning in today, and we got a little double
that will be the car that goes to Victor Lane. Get set.
Let's enjoy it.
Grandfather clock. You heard Jeff Hammond talk about
Goody's Cool Orange 500. So this is in fact the second race with the car of tomorrow.
One of the toughest, tightest, challenging pit roads we go to. The pit boxes are small, and pit road is very narrow.
All right, Darrell, we're ready to race at Martinsville. Who you want to talk to?
I'm going to talk to Jamie Mack. Let's see if we can raise him here. Hey, Jamie Mack, DW up in the Fox booth, bud. You got a copy?
10-4 DW, loud and clear.
Pretty good run last week, my man. What you got for him today?
Well, our car is good. It wasn't good enough to win at happy hour, so we have adjusted on a little bit.
Patrick Chadley, Billy Kramer, and Wade Selinsky, welcome to the stream.
Right changes. Pretty excited. It's April 1st, which is Autism Awareness Month, and got the Autism Speaks logo here in our car. And, man, I love Martinsville. I'm ready to go.
Roger that. Did you let Larry Boy in the pits today?
We did let him in the pits, and he's actually on the pit box. So Larry's done a great job for us this year. So
on the front row. Kenny Schrader for the Ward Brothers qualified fourth.
Larry Boy, you got him right?
J.G. Ailey starting top 5.
Sure
Johnny Sauter starting top 10 in the 7. Tony Raines qualified 11th. What is his qualifying order? Jeremy Mayfield, the 36, qualified 13th.
Larry Carter, Jamie's crew chief, as we get ready to race. The second pace car pulls off, having established pit road speed at 30 miles an hour for the back half of the field.
For this race.
Denny Hamlin, the 7th different pole sitter in the last 7 races at Martinsville, will lead them down to the green.
That's my pick. That boy knows how to get around this joint. On the pole, I like it.
All of the Joe Gibbs cars qualified in the top 7, Larry.
A lot like Bristol. They seem to have their arms around this car tomorrow, the quickest of any of the organizations.
4 drivers make their first Cup start at Martinsville. There's Haley Finish, who's qualified 5th. Tony Stewart is 7th.
Very similar.
David Rudeman, Regan Smith,
Juan
Pablo Montoya, and A.J. Allmendinger make their first Martinsville start today.
DW, 500 laps. Take care of your brakes. Be patient. And I'll let you know when we got 50 to go. And by the way, reach up here and pull those belts tight one more time. I love it.
Of course, tomorrow's Martinsville Spring Race 400 laps, just like it was last
around
year.
the short track. And oh yeah, send us an order of those Jesse Jones Franks at halfway, DW.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Come on, boys, let's go racing.
Big start for Hammond. It's all the better the quality we're going to have for this race, so I apologize if you might want the logo blurry. Philip Moore, Noah Coleman also welcome to the stream.
Kenny Schrader qualified
cool,
4th, his best starting since he qualified 4th here in 2003. He's in the 21, but got hung on the outside. Here comes Stewart, passing on the outside, and there's a battle for second as Jeff Gordon goes after Jamie McMurray.
I thought that's a pretty good bit of competition there on the start between the 26 and the 24. That Jeff Gordon letting Jamie down in the front of him there on the start. That was clean.
You know, we actually saw this in the truck race yesterday. That second groove is already working pretty good.
Spinner out of 4, and it's Casey Mears.
I think he's got a flat tire.
Caution will wave.
That's good news for Mears. Can he stay in front of the leader? He does.
I'm clear. You're clear. There's like a shock.
Yeah, that looked like the tire was down. I don't know, that was weird.
NASCAR Next Up Cup Racing on Fox is sponsored by Chevy, the most wins in NASCAR history on American Revolution. By DirecTV, just say ride shotgun on.
In those rotors during
fast forward just a little bit to the restart.
Observation was the fact that if he has radio problems,
Try to get this stream done before the Xfinity Live commentary starts at 2:30.
He can barely get his hand up there.
This race is about 3.5 hours. So
You know, Jeff had
might have
trouble
to
at Bristol
kinda
last week.
skim
But let me
through
tell you
some of
what, the car was not handling. When your
Whenever
car
there's
doesn't
any
handle,
cautions.
you've got to stop it with the brakes. That's the only way you can get through the corner.
It is so weird
If
seeing
your car
Dale
handles well,
Jr.
you
the
won't have
number
any brake
8,
problems.
but it's
See,
a
Dale
car
Earnhardt
tomorrow.
Jr. there in the 8 car started back in the 8th
Just a
position.
handful
He
of
moves up
races,
to
really, that he
7th.
ran that
Very happy with his race car in all of the practice sessions here,
Davion
especially the
West
2
welcome to the
yesterday.
stream also.
Carl Edwards, the 99, started 9th. He passes Schrader, who tucks in
Imagine
front of
firing
Tony
Kyle
Raines
Busch to keep-
and Jeremy
Yeah,
Mayfield.
really.
You're riding with Raines, Schrader ahead.
Wow, Tony Raines is 42 in 2007. I didn't realize
Schrader
he was
gives
that old
room and
when he was in
Raines
the
pulls through. Nick Berggren.
I'll talk to Carl Edwards before the start of the race this morning, Mike, and he has a very simple strategy. Save the brakes. I guess he was listening to Larry McReynolds, and he is going to do everything he can to avoid spinning the tires coming off the corners. He thinks that's the key to success, and if he wins the race today,
like
he's
if
going to
Justin
give the
Allgaier
grandfather
moved the
clock
cup final.
away to his
Well, I
father.
mean, I guess he was technically.
Well, that's the
the
secret to success here. Don't use too much brakes and don't spin the tires. It's pretty simple, but try to do it for 500 laps.
See, Jimmy Johnson there in the 48 car started back in 20th position. Darrell talked about him in the pre-race show. This team, they had, we talked about Joe Gibbs Racing, the success they're having with the car tomorrow. The Hendrick organization seems to be good, but the 48 team, they just have not found what they're looking for. But Jimmy hates a race car that does not turn. That seems to be the characteristics of these cars.
Well, think about the 48. He's better with the current car than maybe the other guys are. They're just the opposite with this car, and their setup doesn't work like it does in the other car.
How's he like his car today, Kristen?
Well, so far it's okay. He's been able to pass a couple cars, but yeah, yesterday nothing happy about happy hour for Johnson. I mean, guys, when was the last time our series champion finished last in final practice? The team this morning was thrashing. They were changing the setup. Chad Knaus, the crew chief, told me they needed to adjust for the overcast and cooler temperatures, but any changes are good changes. They also adjusted the brake system. Jimmy Johnson started 20th. He is currently up to 18th.
You know, one of the natures of the racetrack here at Martinsville is we've only been about 9 laps since our last restart. Our leader, Denny Hamlin, in the 11 car, about another 4 to 6 laps. He will be lapping cars at the back of the field.
See
Well,
a bunch
that's
of these
because there's
smaller
a lot of
teams
cars
or
that are
drivers that
evil
aren't used to
looking.
running up at the
I mean,
front,
they are
qualify
sliding
well.
sideways and not
And then,
getting
like,
any
after a
forward
dozen
bite.
laps, they just fall
Guys have got some
quickly
work
out
to
of
do
it.
on some of these cars.
It's like you had the speed to qualify there.
Darrell,
What's
the
going
turns
on?
here are concrete, the straightaways are asphalt.
one lap together,
When you make
we
that
can't
jump
put 10
off
plus
turn
laps
2, when you get to that
Hunter,
asphalt, does
thanks
the
for
car go
tuning in.
squirrely on you?
Yeah, that little transition
Jesse
from the
reminds you a
concrete
lot
to
of
the
Cousin
asphalt,
Carl.
just that
That's
little
what it
bump right there. You'll see
there.
the 99 right there. It always steps the back
A
out
little
just a
more
little
aggressive.
bit.
Carl
And that's where
was
you
fairly
work on
aggressive,
forward
though.
bite. Coming off the concrete,
A lot of
up
people
on that
take it
asphalt
like
and
that.
not getting the back jukey.
Yeah, we go to
First
a lot of
look at racetrack
racetracks that are asphalt. We go to some racetracks that are concrete, like Bristol last week. This racetrack has both concrete in the corners, asphalt on the straightaways. Reason
You have to go to
being,
Toledo
they
Speedway,
tried
even though I
asphalt
only
all the way
live like
around
a
this
half
racetrack
hour
for a
away.
number of years, but because the tires gripped so good, it would just pull the asphalt out of the corners.
Time for our first AT&T Singular Virtual Crew Chief question, submitted by Francis Wilkins of Charlotte. Was last weekend's debut of the car of tomorrow successful? Yes or no? Text the word crew to 191 on your AT&T Singular wireless phone. Singular is the new AT&T.
And I think that's the answer.
Yes or no? I can always count on you, Darrell.
Denny Hamlin just laps A.J. Allmendinger in an 84 car. A.J. Allmendinger missed the first 4 races, but the 2 races on short tracks with the car tomorrow qualified this 84 Red Bull car.
And a hello to his teammate Brian Vickers, who failed to qualify for this show and is still nursing burns from the race last week at Bristol. A burn through or fracture in an exhaust pipe made things intolerably hot inside his Toyota.
Jamie finally got by the 84 car. He mentioned that he did hit the curb. You see the yellow curbing down the bottom during practice.
I mean, he's never having a bad time with the
damage the splitter, so that's not a concern for him today. He said the biggest difference for this team is centered around one person, crew chief Larry Carter. He's great with people, and you can feel how the chemistry is on his team as he loses the second position to Gordon, but they have really come around to fifth last week.
Put on a good show today.
The curve here now is what I call a soft curve. When they redid the racetrack a couple of years ago, they softened that curve up, put a lot of radius in it. So it doesn't have that sharp edge on it like you may relate to a curve at home. This is a softer version of that, and you can get up on it and not hurt anything.
Doesn't upset the car near as much as it used to.
It's got a nice roll to it now.
Used to be you'd spin down to the bottom of the racetrack, jump that curb, and hang the car up on it. They'd need the wrecker to get it off. 26 laps complete in the Goodies 500. 34 laps complete. Denny Hamlin still leads at Martinsville, and you're encouraged to participate in today's Domino's Hot Lap, which is the halfway lap, lap 250. Which of these 5 drivers will be ahead of the others when they cross the start-finish line at lap 250?
Well, definitely won't be Schrader or Yale.
SP on any wireless phone.
How would you even put those?
And all participants are entered to win the Ultimate Fan Experience.
I think they went with the starting 5. I think that's how they did it.
Daryl, while we
Because
were away
Yale
and the boys
qualified
are playing,
fifth,
what is it you
and
say?
then
Big
Schrader
Daddy is on the
qualified
prowl.
Oh, yeah,
That 24 car, Jeff
Probably
Gordon.
why they
This
put
car
those
looks
as
mighty
options.
good. Looks like it's got that Martinsville attitude.
J.J. Yaley's
Mike,
still
I
in the
think
top
he
10.
was a
Tony
pole
Raines is in
contender
10th
on Friday,
right now,
but the track was so hot. He was the first car to go out. He was really surprised he ended up qualifying
It's always
third
fun
with that
just
24
watching
car.
to see how long
One
those
thing you
guys
can't
can
do
actually
here, as
hang
Daryl
on.
said, is overdrive the racetrack. Watch
Before
the
they pull
49
back.
of Mike Bliss as he locks up the brakes.
NASCAR Vintage
Coming in the
17, thanks
corner.
for
Just a
tuning in.
moment, Bobby Labonte is in the wall hard.
Heavy impact.
Cheerios 43.
Oh, man.
That's turn 1.
Oh, man.
That's a mess.
Oh, burnout.
Yeah, it is, and I think he's really not happy.
That's a massive pileup for Bobby Labonte.
That was a huge break for a lot of cars that were about to go a lap down, like Casey Kane and Sterling Marlin, Greg Biffle, Matt Kenseth back there.
And this was a track where the Petties had very, very high hope for success this weekend. There's Richard, who gave the command to start the race.
Oh. It's a hard
He
hit.
got in the back of Greg Biffle. Daryl, did it look like he might have run out of brake?
It almost looks like something happened to his car because he sure did fly.
Yeah,
in
he
there
was on
hard
the
and
inside
then
of Biffle
lost control.
when he ended up spinning out.
No contact from behind. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe Biffle slowed
Surprised Biffle
quicker than he
didn't
thought
go
he was
up
going to.
to the wall with him.
And Daryl, I think these guys are putting so much rear brake in their car. If you have to jump on your brakes hard getting in the corner, it definitely can make the cars loose. They can adjust the front and rear bias.
Bobby's looking around like he's something else.
Well, Greg Biffle, the 16, was right in front of him. Look and see if Biffle made a sudden move to the outside, perhaps, before Labonte made contact. Here they come into the picture. No?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Biffle is up the hill, though, but I think Bobby ran into the back of Biffle.
Yeah, that's what it looked
Yeah, because
like.
you could see Biffle's car wiggle there for just a moment.
I'm thinking something might have happened to that 43 car.
I wonder why the safety truck's down there.
Pit road is
Standing-
open and pit
he's
road
just
is
standing there
very
waiting for the
busy.
safety
Looks
truck.
like about everybody at the
Safety
front of
truck
the pack
breakdown
will
or
come to
something?
pit road here on lap 39.
First pit stops of the race.
Kyle Petty, he gets a lucky dog.
Dick Berggren?
Carl Edwards had picked up a couple of spots, but the car needs some work. He doesn't have the grip he wants coming off, and he said the brakes feel a little bit funny.
That's not good.
Matt, Jeff Gordon says his car
Especially
was
when you're
really
only
good.
like
It started
50
to
laps
free
in
up
on
a
the
little
clock.
bit, and also the outside
Well, the
groove
brakes
was
feel
starting
funny
to work
already.
in. Meanwhile, McMurray says his car was great, didn't want any changes. Harvick as well. Krista.
Our leader, Denny Hamlin, said his car is a little tight, but more importantly, he needs forward bite. They're making an air pressure and a very slight track bar adjustment. Steve Burns.
Jeff Burton just exiting pit road. He said that his car has gotten just a little bit free on entry. Otherwise, it is tight. They talked about air pressure adjustments and raising the track bar.
When we come back, we'll find out what
they filled
Jeremy
up 6
Mayfield, the
spots.
36, and Ricky Rudd did.
Ricky Rudd changed
Don't
two
care about
right-side
me.
tires. I was looking dead at him.
This week, America's pastime returns to Fox. Mets,
stayed out to get a lap
or
load
Twins,
under
White Sox, or Dodgers, Giants.
Get 5 bonus points and come back into the pits.
The Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week. New time. Every week, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox. Today, and maybe only today, but today, the Cubs can win the pennant.
Yes, they can.
Ask me again next week. I'm excited about it today. Well, 58% of you in our virtual crew chief ATT singular question say that yes, the car tomorrow debut was a success.
At the end of the day, the end of the race was good. I know that. Pretty exciting.
It's like when you come to Daytona for the 500. When you roll in there, everybody can win the Nextel Cup. Everybody can win the Daytona 500. The Cubs can go to the World Series.
I'm not going there.
I'd like to. I've been wanting to all my life, but they haven't got there yet.
I'm going to Daytona.
All right.
Now, we mentioned all of our leaders hit pit road. Most of them changed 4 tires. Elliott Sadler in the 19 car, Josh Brown as crew chief, they decided with only about 35 laps on their tires to stay out and not pit, so they have not made a pit stop yet.
Here's your running order in Fox 3D. We get set for the restart. Green flag.
Wonder what the purpose of showing that was.
Based on what I saw yesterday, Larry, tires are not a big issue, and track position is.
And this is a fairly hard tire. In other words, it does not give up very easily.
Jeremy
Now, I'm sure Elliott Sadler's going to have his hands full.
Elliott Sadler stayed out.
But he's still trying to get by the lap down car, David Stremme in the 4th.
And, of course, David's trying to stay there to get that lucky dog if we happen to get a quick caution here.
Adrian K., thanks for tuning in. Can't stand to drive these things themselves.
You know, Martinsville historically has always been a track where the longer you run the tires, actually, the better they get. We start to pressure so low here, 8 pounds of air in the left side tires. Takes about 20 laps for the pressure to get up to really good operating temps. And so the tires are come in late, but they last a long time.
There's 2 ways to pass here. One is the way that Jeff Gordon just got by David Stremme. Get a jump off the corner and get under the driver you want to pass. The other way is go in the corner on the outside of him and hope that he knows you're there.
And if you get bumped around a little bit, you got to let it go. You can't hang on to it. You got to put that out of your mind and go back to doing your job, because you're going to get shoved and beat and pushed around here more than anywhere we go.
What'd you say at the top of the show? Keep those emotions inside.
That's right. Don't wear your feelings out there on your splitter.
Denny Hamlin goes back to the lead. Drag racing Elliott Sadler down the straightaway and
teach
dropping
that to a lot of the
inside
drivers in the
Jeff Gordon tries to come through for second place, and Sadler waves him by.
He saw that 24 car Gordon was faster. There's no sense in those guys racing side by side like that, because that means it's going to bring everyone behind them right up to it.
One driver out of the race. He's with Matt Yoakum.
Bobby Labonte, Mike, has walked out of the Info Care Center. Bob, what happened?
Went down to turn 1, following Greg Biffle, and the brake pedal just went all the way to the floor. It never gave me an indication off a turn, we're going into turn 3. So something had to break, or a line came loose or something like that. So just wasn't our day.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, thank you.
The Petties had high hopes, and Bobby Labonte was expected to be a contender for a top 10 finish here.
Got a battle for the lead here that's looking like it isn't going to last long. That 24 car
hit the curb.
Made some good adjustments in that last stop.
Hit the curb, and that allowed Hamlin to get the drive off.
Stay in the throttle off the corner just enough to make the pass down the straightaway.
Well, this track's so narrow, and on corner entry, when you need to put the throttle down, you need the whole racetrack to make it happen.
Kevin Harvick in the 29 dives to the inside of Elliott Sadler in the 19. He'll take the 3rd position away.
And what Elliott's going to do here is, there's a gap behind him. He's going to get in a position where his old tires will be as good as the guys behind him, and he'll be in good shape.
Remember, on our race-off pit road, we saw that Elliott Sadler and Ricky Rudd had gained 8 positions in the pits, and it's been confirmed that both those teams did take just 2 tires.
Well, Elliott Sadler stayed out. Jeremy Mayfield changed 2 tires in the 36 car. Right, and Jeff Green in the 66.
Thanks, Slippery. Hamlin wants the lead back. Tucks the nose under there just a little bit. Doesn't get it. Krista?
Gordon looking quick.
Guys, something to keep in mind today for Dale Jr. If you remember back in between 2002 and 2004, Dale Earnhardt Jr. had that streak of top 5s here. They haven't really had a handle on this track since. That was before they had grinded the track. Dale Jr. says these cars of tomorrow, it favors his old setup and thus the old track. And that is why he thinks he has a better
to remember last year he had a great run here with no right front fender. I mean, he was pretty much had half his nose missing, but I think he still finished like 4th.
Tell you what, he pokes the hole, though. That orange number 20, Tony Stewart, behind him. He fills the hole right after Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the 8 goes through it.
Look at the front end of that car. One thing I like about the car of tomorrow is from the center line of the bumper up, they look like a car. The left side fenders aren't all yanked out. The right side's tucked in, and they don't look all like melted down. They're squared up. Looks pretty good.
I think a nice name would be boxcar. They look like boxcars. They're nice and square. I can kind of go by the track back here on the railroad track. I'm talking about, they're in a tight box. They say that all the time. So
I'm with you.
Must be a boxcar.
Let's get some team communication from Tony Stewart.
They're going to have to help me on this. Normally I'd want the bottom here right away, but you're just going to have to look and see how those guys get through them. If they're getting through them all right, just tell me to stay up. It's hard to pass the lap cars today.
Yeah, I see that. Talking to his spotter.
And his spotter is Mark Robinson that's up on top of the grandstands here. And what he's asking is, tell me how the other leaders are getting through the lap traffic. Give me a little bit of warning how it's happening.
See, and that's the thing about the spotter. He's not just up there to tell you clear. He's up there to help you. He'll tell you what happened on pit road. He'll tell you where guys are running. He'll give you lap times occasionally, but he's up there doing his job.
And there they are, ever vigilant. One spotter, at least one spotter per car. Up on the roof at Martinsville Speedway, where a nice crowd is on hand to watch the NASCAR Nextel Cup Stars. Jeff Gordon out in front at 62 laps.
Time to follow the leader.
Hey, race fans, you grab the bud, I'll grab the trophy.
Jeff Gordon continues to lead. Dale Jr. has moved up to 4th place. Here at Martinsville, Gordon beginning to get into lap traffic around Joe Nemechek. It's big, it's bad, it's victory red. Go to foxsports.com/Silverado for a chance to meet Dale Jr. and drive away in his all-new 07 Chevy Silverado.
Yeah, don't touch that number, by the way. It probably doesn't work anymore.
I've been watching this blue deuce right here. Kurt Busch in that 2 car.
Hard to believe
started
that
back in the 12th position.
Yeah,
and he just kind of picking them off one by one. Pretty much had a disastrous race last week at Bristol. Started 42nd. Just never could get their arms around it, but looking pretty good here today in that 2.
So I'll tell you another guy that's, I think some of the work they did this morning is paying off. It's a 48 car, Larry. I've been watching him. The car's handling really good. He's able to make some passes, and he's moved up to 11th place. And when you think that he was the slowest car in practice yesterday, they've found that old magic wand again.
Jeff Gordon closing in on the driver who won the most races on this circuit last year, Casey Kane, in the 9.
11th right in front of Johnson. I noticed Kyle Busch has moved forward quite a bit. He was outside the top 20 at the start of the race.
Kane and Robbie Gordon and the 01 Regan Smith. And, a little bunching up there.
And these guys are desperate. You see that 24 car, Jeff Gordon, the leader, they're right there behind them. So those guys are trying to stay on the lead lap. We're riding with David Ruderman right now in the 00 car right now. David 2 laps down. I need to mention Casey Mears, the 25. They went to the garage, repaired that front sway bar problem they had. He's back out there 27 laps down.
So far, all I'm seeing is casual contact. I don't see anything, any beating and banging. Pretty much just Martinsville at its finest.
There's Casey Mears, the 25 car.
And even though Jeff Gordon's leading the race, you got to be aggressive. You can't let people hold you up.
Oh.
See Robbie Gordon in the 7, giving a little bump to A.J. Allmendinger, 84. Saying, look, the leader's here. Let's go.
Robbie gave a bunch of race fans an unexpected thrill this morning. Parked his car down at Hardee's about half a mile from the track to make it easier to get out. Walked up the hill and down Brass Shop Road right in the midst of all the race fans. It's like, hey, look at that. That's pretty cool.
He enjoys mixing and mingling with the fans. He'll get on his golf cart and go out into the infield at some of the bigger racetracks.
Jeff Gordon leads this race at 78 laps. He's been out front for 23 of them. Matt?
Jeff Gordon's gas man, Caleb Hurd, and a group from the Big Cruise for Kids and outreach of the Hendrick Merrill program made a visit to Duke University's pediatric bone marrow transplant unit yesterday. They met a young lady named Katie Chapman, and they gave a bear to the crew. Katie made it. They gave it to the team for good luck, so they tie-wrapped the bear to the roll cage inside Jeff Gordon's car. She nicknamed it Winnie, meaning to win. Special young lady battling leukemia. Her thoughts, though, with this 24 team, hoping they get to victory lane.
They're working on it pretty good right now, Matt, that 24 car.
I bet that's one scared bear right this minute.
I bet that bear ends up in the family collection for future use.
I would say you're right. Tony Stewart, the 20 car, goes by. Jamie McMurray, that's a battle for 5th right now. No longer a battle.
Darryl,
you bring that up about the 24 car.
They were holding on the first one in the top 10. Now
show the other night. Of course, he and his wife Ingrid expecting their first child. I know you were excited when your girls were born. I was excited. Mike was excited when our first child was born. But there's a lot of excitement in Jeff Gordon about this baby that's on the way.
I tell you, he is as proud of a papa right now as anybody I've ever met. I mean, he and Ingrid are, I mean, they're just, you can tell they're really looking forward to it. And I got to tell you, Larry, every time I think about Jessica Lee Waltrip, this race right here in 1987, I came to the racetrack on Sunday morning. She was born on Thursday. There was a rose and a note. It said, win this one for me, Daddy. Most incredible day of my life. And I won it.
I was going to say, put the period on that story.
I won it on the last lap.
Jeff Gordon lapping past Dave Blaney. Cat Camry. We talked about the 4 first-timers here at Martinsville. Juan Pablo Montoya, Steve, running in 29th.
And Mike, he's actually doing a good job. He's been telling his team where and when he wants to try to pass somebody, and every time he does, his team is excited about it. He actually said before this race he feels a lot more comfortable here at Martinsville than he did at Bristol.
And Steve, right now, he's running just in front of the guy that he's battling for the rookie points battle there, the 6 car, David Reagan. Casey Mears, a 25 car against the wall again. No caution yet, though.
They have got issues, something going on with that race car.
Can't get it down to pit road. Just the conveyor belt of cars going around. He'll have to try and make one more lap before he can pit. And
right in front
his
of the
teammate,
leader.
Jeff Gordon, swoops around, giving him a chance to get to pit road, and we will stay green.
He should have made that move a lot sooner than what he did. He had a lot of time to get there, and he waited till the last minute to
watch for the National Guard 25.
You can tell the right front tire is down right there. And, of course, you know they had the sway bar problem. You almost question, okay, did a sway bar arm maybe rub the inside of the tire and cut that tire down? There's Robbie Gordon, 7 car. He looks like he's got a problem as well, trying to get through those cars to get the pit road. He's not going to make it this time. He's going to have to go around again. There's the entrance of pit road right there in turn 3.
I believe he will probably end up stopping.
Can't get you down. Can't get you down. I'm trying, Rob. Trying to get you down.
Oh, look out. I'm surprised they're not throwing a caution for him.
Space after Blaney right there, but he can't turn, so he'll stop.
Yeah, the right front tire is down, and he just can't turn the car when he gets in the corner.
He's still moving. How are they not throwing a caution? He's ran like a lap and a half on a flat right now. There it is.
Well, it took a while, and Robbie Gordon lost a lap in the process, but finally did get a needed caution.
We let him limp around the track for a lap and a half and then throw the yellow. I'll tell you what, they've always been inconsistent with their usage of caution flags, haven't they? This is nothing new. Fans get frustrated for it like every other week. It's the same stuff that was happening back in 2007.
David Reagan, Montoya, those guys just about to get lapped by Jeff Gordon in the 24 car.
Race control. Wow, Matt Kenseth, 33rd.
Kenseth was the next car to go lap down.
He's only moved up a few spots.
That was timely.
He has struggled all weekend long.
I've seen that car sideways more here than I've seen it sideways anywhere it's ever been. I don't think I've ever seen him spun out as sideways as he has been here.
But don't count him out.
No, but
they got work to do, though.
Third caution of the day comes out at lap 91 for Robbie Gordon.
Now, also, I want to say, even though we're 91 laps into this race, remember, Elliott Sadler in the 19
Hey, Deep
car
Wayne,
is
you got
still
the
not
free
pitted,
pass.
but he's sitting there in 7th position. So mission accomplished by that move and his crew chief, Josh Brown, in staying out. And I'm sure a lot of teams were paying close attention to that.
I don't think there's any question you can get by with 2 tires if your lefts are not, gone.
Leaders are coming. Everyone's open.
She'll be busy again. It's been about close to about 45, 50 laps since they were last on pit road.
Dick?
Well, Carl Edwards lost a couple of spots on that run, so they're going to try to give him a little bit more grip by taking some air pressure out of the initial starting air pressure in his tires. They're also going to make a chassis adjustment to try and tighten the car up just a little bit. Matt.
7-time Martinsville winner Jeff Gordon says his car is too loose on entry and too loose off. They've made a wedge adjustment. He says the car is awesome through the center of the corner. To Krista.
Loose all the way around.
Denny
Loose
Hamlin
fast.
brings his car around. He still
They
has the
haven't
same
had a
problem. The car
ridiculously
is
long
getting
green
tight,
flag
and
run,
he
so
needs to
it's
be
worked
able
out
to
for him.
drive off the corners. They're making a 4-tire adjustment with a track bar and air pressure change. Steve Burns.
Krista Reed Sorensen of the 41 has made up 12 positions since the start of this race. He told crew chief Jimmy Elledge, I just need help rotating through the center. They made a track bar adjustment.
You see the race off pit road. What it does not show is one KG veteran who did not come to pit road, Matt Kenseth.
He will.
He will. He's going to get those 5 points for leading a lap.
He's the guy that I think the one agenda they're on every week is to be sure and lead a lap because he has the most bonus points.
Time to check into the Blue Ridge Mountain Hotel right here.
I need to start doing that in NASCAR 7.
Is Hammond strapped in?
Races I'm struggling to stay out of the pits to lead a lot. I don't like doing it because I feel like I'm going to get ran over by the
I
field.
would never do that, but we did arrange something.
I might
just to keep
consider
him on his
starting
toes.
to do that on tracks I struggle
struggling.
on.
Matt Kenseth, right, who's been one of the top Fords running so far this year.
I don't think it's a bad strategy.
I mean, the biggest thing is right now getting down pit road. You see him getting ready to come down pit road. He's going to be working, trying to get this car hooked up. Looks to me like he's having a whole lot of trouble getting off.
6 years old.
Off the
I remember the finish of this one. I don't remember too much about how we got there.
Gordon looked like that tire exploded when it hit the wall there.
Again,
pretty good
you
one,
put
so
a lot of heat
in
these cars as far as the brakes are concerned, and a lot of times that'll transfer to the right front or left front, depending on which one you're working the most. And it looked to me like all of a sudden the right front tire just literally exploded. He did a great job keeping it off the wall and getting on the pit road.
21st in points coming in, single car team doing well. Let's get a check on Kenseth. You were talking moments ago. Here's Steve
tomorrow,
Burns.
I should say. And the next gen car too.
Kansas crew chief Robbie
I think that's
Rogers
just
this morning.
a common
He said,
occurrence
we
with
are
Goodyear
so
not
mad,
being able
I
to
might try anything
get
just
a
for an
tire
advantage.
to cooperate
We saw
with
what
the
they
new
just
cars
did.
that
They
NASCAR
stayed out,
releases every
led
5 to
5
6
points. Mike Joy.
Thanks, Steve.
That first season and a half is kind of rough.
Good to go here. Let me tell you how good Jeff Gordon is at Martinsville. Richard Petty's won the most races here, but in 67 starts, he led 26 races, 40%. Darrell, you started 52 races here, led 32, 60%. This is Jeff Gordon's 29th start at Martinsville. He's led 21 of 29.
And he's finished an incredible amount of laps here. I saw some statistic where he had only failed to finish 6 laps.
Wow.
That's out of 11,500 laps here at this place. That stat amazes me as much as anything.
That leads us to our DLP amazing moment. Happened here in October of 2005. Jeff Gordon won his 7th career Martinsville race, the most among all active Nextel Cup drivers.
Wonder what he does with all those grandfather clocks. He's got 7 of them.
Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart,
They all
the first
go
two
off
to
at the
line
same
that
time.
day, and 2 who
Depends how loud
certainly
that
will
would be.
figure in this one.
Noon every day.
Pit road has started playing its havoc because J.J. Yaley,
I do
the
want to get a
18
grandfather
car,
clocks on.
on the
They're
lead
very
lap, hit
expensive.
it outside the box. They did the work,
Just because
so
I'm
he
a
will be one
NASCAR
lap
fan.
down now on this 18 car.
That
Historical
leaves 30
trophy when it comes
cars
to winning a
on the
Martinsville.
lead lap. There's our group of Fox onboard camera drivers and the different views that they'll show you as we get ready to restart.
First ever diecast
Completing
with
97
Johnson
of
Martinsville.
500 laps.
Yeah, I actually had the race win diecast
Dave
of
Blaney
this
got the free
race.
pass on that caution, and we're back
The
to
164 scale though, not a 124.
It's always interesting on these restarts, Larry, Mike, to see who made. You can always tell
there was a
guys that
few
made
race win die casts that I remember
really
getting
helped
from
the car.
Walmart from the
Because all of a sudden,
2007
I mean, they're
season. Because I
up
want to say
there,
I got Denny
just like the 11 car is. He's putting a lot of pressure on Jeff this time, where last time Jeff was putting the pressure on him.
Speaking of pressure, Mike, what do you think about let's just reach over there and put pressure on that volume knob and
crank it up, short track style.
NASCAR better have it crank it up this weekend. Or I should say Fox, not really NASCAR. We didn't have it crank it up for Bristol. We didn't have it crank it up for Coda. And we didn't have it crank it up at Bristol. It's 3 races in a row we have not had it crank it up. We better get one this week.
David streaming around. Everybody scatters. Casual contact between Marlin and Gilliland, but otherwise no one else involved.
What's that 40 car, Larry? It's just like he couldn't do anything about it. It just started to get a little loose and it spun right
I didn't realize
around.
David Stremme was from South Bend, Indiana. Is that where Ryan Newman's from?
I agree with you, buddy, because that thing just kind of all of a sudden it just gets loose, and then she just goes around.
This is one of the cars making wholesale changes this morning. In fact, they put the full setup out from Reed Sorensen's car, the 41, his teammate, under that car to start this race.
Fast forward just a minute.
Preparation and their homework, quite possibly as good, if not better, than any team out here.
So that 4 cautions already?
Thanks. Let's show you what happened with Sterling Marlin. No caution flag for that one. We are still under green. Watch the 14, middle of your screen.
Oh, got
Riggs, the 10, got in the back of him.
I think that all accordion from further
definitely
forward.
what it looked
like. Yeah, before the 10 got in, they definitely
Juan
stacked
Pablo
up.
did a good job of working his way through there and not hitting anything.
Here's what Matt Kenseth saw.
It kind of stinks. They only got like a lap to crank it up. Or
slow down, grab a couple of gears,
demand
and keep
crank
digging.
it up this weekend. Yeah, really.
I like what I'm seeing today on these caution flags, though. You know, we're not throwing one every time somebody gets a little bit out of shape. The reason I like that is because the more cautions you have, the more cautions you're going to have.
The more cautions you're going to have, the more cautions you're going to have. I like that. It is true. It's just funny to say.
Top 3 for most of this race.
I'm going to start stating that on the live commentary streams whenever we get into some wreckfest at the end of some of these truck races or something. The more cautions we're going to have, the more cautions we're going to have.
And then the first non-Chevy is Jamie McMurray.
I need to remember to use. I have to write that down.
Erwin Ford.
Pretty much carried the banner for Ford here all weekend long, qualifying and all.
That happens tonight at Martinsville. I remember last year's Martinsville spring race for the Xfinity Series was a wreckfest. I think there were 16 cautions.
Bush is the first Dodge in the race.
16 cautions in a 250-lap race. It was great.
Bird and his crowd have really helped his car.
That was one of the few Xfinity commentaries I did last year. I was only able to do their night races
documented Jimmy Johnson in the 48 is
my work schedule. Last season I was only really able to do Cup because I was off Sundays. We had to work Saturdays.
Jimmy Johnson's teammate, our winner from last week, the 5-car Kyle Busch, he's been working his way to the front, starting back in 14th. So we have.
That was one of the races, and I remember it going all night. And I was pretty tired.
And then to round out the top 10 is
working during the day. It was a long race. I think it had like an hour rain delay at the start, kind of similar to the truck race last night, honestly. Only did get rain short. They finished it, so it went pretty deep into the night. All the cautions played quite a bit, too. Luckily with yesterday's race, so obviously I don't work Fridays anymore, so
he didn't win final practice because his teammate did.
There you go. But he had a bad effort in qualifying, and that kind of hindered him. But again, that car looks like it's hooked up very well.
Weather Expert Gaming, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, qualifying's going on right now for Cup Series. Typically, I'd be watching it, but we got to get this Throwback Thursday stream in, and we're running out of days to do it this week, unfortunately. Apologize for not being able to get it out there Thursday. I knew Thursday was going to be tough. I scheduled it for 8 o'clock originally,
earlier in the weekend, as you saw in the pre-race,
but I knew I wasn't going to get home until pretty close to then. And I was actually home like 20 minutes before 8 o'clock. The reason why I moved the stream back to Friday is because I just thought it was going to go on too late. It was going to be a late night end of the stream. It was going to be about 10:30, 11 o'clock. I usually don't like to stream that late.
They're trying to stay ahead because the sun is definitely now gone behind
early days of the channel, we did that a lot. We wouldn't stream until like 8 o'clock when I was doing the full race live streams of like NASCAR 5 or something. Whatever game I was playing at the time.
What happens on the racetrack is as longer we run,
Ended up,
the more the
not
rubber
getting
builds
done
up
most of
on
the time,
top
so
of the
like 10
racetrack.
o'clock.
You'll get rubber buildups, little knots
people
will
tune out
come in the
before
groove, and the cars will start to skip and dance around over those rubber knots.
So that way they get done by around 9-ish, 9:30.
I'm sure as we go along, we'll be able to show you some of them. They're not quite
Easier
built
on
up
us,
enough yet to
East
see them,
Coast
but we
people.
will before the day's over.
About lap 300 to 400 is when you really start showing up in the corners.
Riding with Jeff Burton as he battles Elliott Sadler for 17th and Clint Boyer on the inside.
I think, Larry, that's one reason why some guys just have more. They continue to have success at certain racetracks. A rookie or a younger driver, he's not going to know that. He's not going to anticipate that happening to the track and what he needs to do.
McMurray's been in the top 5
have
for
it
a
set
long
up
time.
right for those kind of
Solid
conditions.
race. Kyle Busch is up to
For a guy like Jeff
9th.
Gordon and some of these other guys got
He's
huge
passed a lot of cars in this one. Both him and Jimmy
22
Johnson
laps
started kind
complete.
of
Let's
deep
check
in the
with
field.
Steve.
I wouldn't say like very deep. They started
Listening to
mid-top.
Scott Miller,
They're
the
just
crew chief
slowly
for
looking
Jeff
themselves
Burton. He
forward.
told Burton it's hard to get track
Obviously,
position right now, but
outside of
there's only
Casey
about
Mears,
4 or 5
Hendrick
cars that are
Motorsports having a good
faster than
run.
us,
Casey Mears has
so
already
just
been in
be
2
patient and we'll be there at the end.
42nd, blew right front, and I think he had
out the window.
flat right rear.
Thank you for letting me by. He waved
What was it, lap
in the
40
direction of
brought
David
out the first
Stremme.
caution?
Yeah, Jeff's running about where he
But
started.
then Roush, on the
back
other
in
hand, is
19th
struggling. David
position, running
Reagan's
in
24th,
16th right
Matt
now with
Kenseth's
31
25th. I think
Jeff Burton.
Biffle's been outside the top 20 the whole race.
Jeff Gordon has led 67 of the 124 laps. That's more than half, but we're a long way to the finish in Martinsville.
NASCAR Next Up Cup Racing on Fox is sponsored by Toyota. Moving forward by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, get the good stuff. By Degree Men, more power than you need. One day you'll need it. And by McDonald's.
Jeff Gordon continues to lead at 132 laps. Here's your Napa race summary. 5 lead changes among 4 drivers and 4 caution flags for 24 laps. Sterling Marlin is the last of 30 cars still on the lead lap.
Be sure to hit the like button
2
on the
cars
stream
in
if
the
you guys
garage,
have
Casey
not done
Mears
so
and Bobby
already.
Labonte.
And I've
Subscribe for
been
more
watching
daily
this
NASCAR
side-by-side
content
battle
as
right here in
well.
front of our leader, Jeff Gordon, for several laps. Remember, Sterling Marlin was well up into the top 15 or
we are
20.
currently
He was our
at
biggest mover, got spun out
22
just a few
likes on the
laps ago.
stream right now.
Almost went a lap down, but he's been staying in front of the leader, racing Dave Blaney in the 22 that we're riding with right now.
Dave Blaney go lap down
Sterling is
again.
pedaling hard right now, boys. He's trying to stay in front of that leader if he can, and so far he's been able to hold him off.
Trying to get that caution.
In the meantime, that's allowed the 11 car to close up on the back of Jeff Gordon here.
Oh, he got in
Now
front of him
Jeff's
on the
not on it. He's
restart.
going
I
to
think
have
he
to
was,
go, and that's bad
Oh,
news for
that's
Sterling.
right. Dave got the free pass on the last
J.J.
caution.
Yaley, for Rob
So he was at the
Newman
tail
and
end of the
Johnny
field. Now
Sauter.
he's going to lap
Those are
down.
the 4 cars just ahead of our leader.
Need a quick
Yeah,
yellow.
last caution, J.J.
Before
Yaley
Marlin
got the
goes a
free
lap
pass
down
and
into
got back
14.
on the lead lap. But when you get the free pass, the rule is you have to start at the tail end of the longest line, which is about a half a lap down when they drop the green flag.
And just ahead of that group comes Scott Riggs and Juan Pablo Montoya, racing for 21st and trying to stay on the lead lap during what's been a fairly long green.
Okay, I think we're good now.
In the meantime, that's allowed the 11 car to close up on the back of Jeff Gordon here. Now Jeff's not on it. He's going to have to go, and that's bad news for Sterling.
For Sterling, for J.J. Yaley, for Rob Newman, and Johnny Sauter. Those are the 4 cars just ahead of our leader.
Yeah, last caution, J.J. Yaley got the free pass and got back on the lead lap. But when you get the free pass, the rule is you have to start at the tail end of the longest line, which is about a half a lap down when they drop the green flag.
And just ahead of that group comes Scott Riggs and Juan
I
Pablo
think we're good
Montoya,
now.
racing for 21st and trying to stay on the lead lap during what's been a fairly long green flag run here.
Sorry about that, everybody. We're good to go. Hopefully we don't have that issue
About 40
again.
laps since that last caution. Restarted back on lap 97. We're at lap
That was
136 right now. We got a battle for the lead. Jeff Gordon, we talked about him a while ago, stacked up behind these cars.
What happened there, Jeff tried to go the outside to get around Sterling on the outside. and he didn't make it happen, and that opened the door for the 11. Gee, that looked like a
before. That's not new damage. And we'll see if Sterling gives him the bottom and if Gordon can hold the bottom and make the pass.
Now Sterling is trying to go to the outside of the 18 car.
Still trying to stay on the lead.
Door for the lead, maybe a little contact.
Our pole sitter looking for the lead once again.
Everybody closed in on Gordon, Hamlin, and Harvick just behind also.
But look right behind them, Kevin Harvick in the 29.
Gordon couldn't get through lap traffic. Denny Hamlin's underneath the 24.
Hamlin led that lap. He's going to win the battle, and Gordon can't get inside. Here comes Harvick.
Nice little battle for the lead with all these guys.
And you see what Denny does. Denny's not cautious. He just drives it in under Sterling and says,
Dale Campbell, welcome to the stream.
That's right. You are going to be lapped.
Yeah, and I think Denny's car's a little bit better on entry, and that got him a shot underneath the Sterling. Now you watch, Jeff will follow right through.
I like what I'm seeing here, Darrell, because several years ago, Kevin Harvick would have just sent it in there just to see what happened. This time he backed off, gave Jeff Gordon the bottom, and he's going to follow through past Marlin.
Mike, we've only run 140 laps. That's a long way to go.
Oh, Hamlin and Sauter got together, going down into turn 1, and Hamlin hopped the curve.
I see that's where Jeff Gordon, and Jeff says, I can't get through these lap cars without roughing them up. So he knows Hamlin, you know, a little bit younger, a little more aggressive. You go up there and knock him out of our way.
And that's what he had to do to get Johnny Sauter in the yellow transportation chip.
Jeff Gordon doesn't want to beat his nose up.
But because all of this is going on, we talked about Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now, Jamie McMurray in the 26, Tony Stewart in the 20. They pulled up to the back of this group. We got the top 6 cars right there together.
Now it's Stremme just ahead of the leader. Hamlin pushing Stremme, pushing Yaley through the corner. How about that?
Come on. I'm working on it, guys.
Hamlin's car really gets down into the corner well, and that's where he's able to make these passes. Looked like maybe Jeff was a little too free to do that getting in.
See if that works a little better.
Will Yaley run his Joe Gibbs teammate trying to lap him?
He'll be working his radio button pretty hard right now. This is when you plead your case. I know he's my teammate, but I believe
hopefully he's not going to be freezing up anymore.
Initially, let me go.
He actually got into his left rear quarter panel just a little bit right then, getting off into turn 1. There you see the battle for 5th between McMurray and the 26, Stewart and the 20 car.
But notice just right behind Denny Hamlin, who just kind of follows along and lets the old 11 car do all the dirty work.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Now Hamlin breaks into a bit of open space.
Hoping we don't have any more issues with this, but apologize for all the stoppages.
Denny Hamlin from Chesterfield, Virginia.
Try to catch back up a little bit.
You know, let's talk about why qualifying is so important here, especially sitting on the pole for a 500-lap race. You pick pits by how you qualify. That's Denny Hamlin's
Dave Blaney.
Front unless he gets in somebody's left rear, so got to be brake heat.
That's why we're under caution. Gosh darn it.
Then McMurray's Ford.
Fast forwarded through the commercial.
times.
Come to find out, Dave Blaney
What Jeff is
blew a
seeing
right
is that
front
11
tire, it
car
looked
kinda
like.
disappearing.
Getting further and further out there while these guys are trapped behind Johnny Sauter and especially Casey Kane.
Well, there goes my
9
guy.
cars.
I mean, Biffle's still in it, I guess. 16th, though. I mean, Dave Blaney was running worse.
You get cool air into your brakes, so brake heat is not as big a deal, and you don't have to use as much brakes. Everything you do here is based on how much brake am I using. And when you can get in a position where you don't use as much, it's good, right, Jeff?
That's right.
So Denny looked really quick at the start.
You guys talked earlier.
And then Gordon was looking really fast for a while. Now Denny's starting to take control of the race again.
No one was going on like Jeff Gordon. He's won here this
Dale Jr.'s up to second.
Sometimes you let a guy like that going out there and wear his stuff out because you know you're pacing yourself, saving those brakes, conserving something, because really, when you really need it, it's the last 100 laps of this race.
I thought that was a lap car in front of Earnhardt, Johnny Sauter.
We talked about it at the top of the show, how much brake these guys were using in practice, and I'm not sure a lot of them know what their brakes are going to be like the last 100 laps of this race.
I think the big unknown is the box, that the air box for the brake coolers themselves. It's totally different than what the teams have used in the past. It's a lot different configuration where you hook your brake hoses and all. Doesn't look to me like, just looking at it, it would get near the air that the old boxes got.
And this is what NASCAR mandated on every one of the cars of the new COT car, the car tomorrow.
Yeah, that's an area where I don't know that I would mandate anything. You got to put up there what you need to get the job done.
Where that opening is, the size of the duct, the shape of the duct, how many outlets it has, that is all now to one specification, and the teams are no longer allowed to take and look at that area as they used to and improvise.
Darrell, as I look at Kevin Harvick in the 29 car, of course, the Busch Series off this weekend, but the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race here yesterday on Fox, you made a great comment. With the unknowns of the car tomorrow, if you were a driver, you would have wanted to participate in that race yesterday like Kevin Harvick did when he finished fourth.
When we look at the car that we're running today, the car of tomorrow, if you want to call it that, it looks like a truck. From the windshield forward, it's got the same nose, same splitter, and same everything. And as a matter of fact, having driven both of them, it drives like a truck. It's kind of slow to turn in the middle of the corner, and that's what these guys are dealing with. So practice here in a truck yesterday would have been valuable.
Now you said Kevin Harvick finished fourth yesterday. Didn't he get spun out with about 50 laps to go? So that was quite a comeback.
It really was. He had the whole right side of that thing all smashed in, but he was coming.
Riding outside pole sitter Jamie McMurray chasing Tony Stewart for fifth place. Kevin Harvick ahead, Jeff Gordon up in third, Junior in second, and they're all chasing Denny Hamlin, who led 28 laps here last October, finishing second.
Rubber down, you're going to start to see those rubber balls in the corners that the guys are going to have to deal with.
The marbles.
Oh, Dave Blaney's back out there. That's good.
After the problem he had in turn one.
He's 11 laps down in 41st, though, so that stinks. He's back out there, though.
Starting to build up because that's what's bothering Kurt Busch in the 2-car. And, we talked about all the unknowns. When the caution came out last time, Kurt told Roy McCauley, I can't hold the bottom and I'm loose on late exit, but I don't know what to ask for.
He's 11 laps down in 40.
I've never heard Kurt Busch say that.
Well, these cars are set up so differently. The track bar used to drag the ground on these cars. I mean, you're talking 8 inches. Now they found that because of the high roll center of these taller cars, they got to raise the roll center. So now instead of saying lower the track bar, the driver's not sure he wants to lower it, he's not sure he wants to raise it. And these cars don't like a lot of wedge. So now you don't know whether to put wedge in or take wedge out.
Yeah, just the center of gravity of these cars is so much higher. You heard Steve Burns make the comment last week that Elliott Sadler told him it's like getting out of your little sports car, the current car, and going to your SUV with this car tomorrow. The cars just want to roll a lot more in the corners.
Race leader Denny Hamlin about to put a lap on David Rudiman. That'd be the fourth today.
Yeah, David's just really, really loose, not being able to really go anywhere. And David's got
like that Domino's paint scheme, though, from David Rudiman.
He's looking pretty good.
Pulling up on Regan Smith in the Army 01. Steve?
Hey, Mike, an update on Juan Pablo Montoya. Since the drop of the green flag, he's been saying that his race car is tight, but he is such a smart racer. He's been asking his spotter, Tab Boyd, how the 41 car of Reed Sorensen is doing. Sorensen was better than he early in the race.
Well, I'll tell you what, Juan Pablo Montoya still hanging out in the top 20, still on the lead lap. I would say that's the biggest mission of this team today is just run all of these laps here in this 500 laps.
Larry, I've seen guys come here, stock car drivers, guys that have experience in these kind of cars, and not be able to figure this joint out. I mean, just buffalo them. I haven't noticed that. I don't think we've been anywhere yet that Juan Pablo wasn't pretty good right off. I mean, he adapts so quickly. That's the thing that's been so impressive.
I agree. Now, Martin Truex had been in 10th. He was just passed by Clint Boyer, but he made his first appearance in the top 10 today after winning both of the early practices this weekend. Krista?
Well, the condition he's been facing most of this race has been tight off of both ends of the corners. But his crew chief, Kevin Garland, just got on the radio and told Martin that he is finally killing the other cars off both the corners. You know, Martin Truex has been so hard on himself these last few races because they have had such good cars. He said in the Busch Series, he could just jump into things, sit on the pole, win races. He is really being hard on himself, but they do have a great car.
Well, Krista, I tell you, that's not good news for his team because a driver has to have self-confidence. He's got to believe in himself. And if he's got a problem with that, he needs to go find somebody that can help him with it because that'll get you down and that'll bring the whole team down.
Absolutely.
And some of these guys, Larry, I mean, I know that a couple of these guys are seeing psychologists, sports psychologists. They're working on their mental attitudes where they don't let negatives outweigh them and get them down.
There's a lot of guys that's doing it. I've been watching this orange 31 car here. Jeff Burton finished second last week at Bristol. He started back in the 19th position. He's been marching his way to the front, slowly but surely, sitting here with 4 top 5 finishes in 2007, right now in the 13th position.
On the left of your screen, Jeff Gordon had stalked Dale Earnhardt Jr. lap after lap. Finally, Jr. had enough. Gave Gordon the bottom. Tony Stewart came right through with him.
Dale's starting to slip back a little bit.
Let me tell you, it's starting to slide up the hill and got some huge problems.
Let's ride with him, Darrell.
Calls Matesic. Thanks for tuning in.
Completely off the
I was going to say, he was on the brakes for a very long time.
Well, and not only that, but look how much higher up the racetrack he is than Tony Stewart.
He's got to be really, really tight.
He's not driving up there.
And what you just heard him say is the forward bite is worse. That's one reason he can't let the throttle down. The rear wheels are wanting to spin when he puts the throttle down. It's been about 40 to 45 laps since we last pitted.
He can't get down around the bottom. He can't get by David Rudiman because David's got the outside and he can't even clear him because he can't get back in the gas. Now he does, but without David's help. These long greens now, it changes a lot of things, man. This is when you'll have a brake issue because you don't have a chance to cool them down. And if you're running hard trying to pass people, this is when you're going to know if you're going to have a brake issue or not.
Mike Bliss going to fall a couple laps down here to Denny Hamlin, who leads as we close in on
Hamlin, Gordon, Stewart, Earnhardt, Harvick, top 5.
Come on, Tony boy. I thought you won Martinsville last year. Keep up. The way you're playing now, you should be on the junior varsity. Yeah, that's original.
Hammond's a car length behind. Hit him!
No.
Hit him! Don't hit him! Sorry.
Okay, let's make a pit stop.
Sounds like a personal problem.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Well, sounds like your fault, not mine.
Oh, I don't think you'll be climbing the fence after this one. Smoke.
You gotta go back. I gotta go back and watch that Mike Doyle.
The forward bite is worse. That's one reason he can't.
The fence after this one. Smoke. Okay, let's make a pit stop.
If you're trying to pass people, this is when you're going to know if you're going to have a brake issue or not.
The junior varsity. Yeah, that's original.
This one.
Car length behind. Hit him! Hit him! No. Let the game hit him. Don't hit him.
Okay, let's make a pit stop.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Out of character, Mike Joy is the greatest.
Sounds like your fault, not mine.
Oh, I don't think you'll be climbing the fence after this one.
Alright, I'll get back to the race now. I thought that was hilarious.
Cars go into turn 3 and just take off like the brakes are locked in it.
just saw Greg Biffle in the
Hit him!
16th car. He's
Hit
in
him!
the 14th position. Here's
In the
his
game,
teammate
don't
David
actually hit
Reagan
him.
in the 6th, 1 lap down, right behind Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, they're racing for position.
I like how he was commentating it leading up to the actual Hamlin's car link behind.
To be that first car a lap down where they could get the free pass. Now Denny Hamlin is going by Tony Raines in the 96 car, and Tony's in the 20th position, but looks like he's going to go a lap down. But while Denny Hamlin's battling Tony Raines, here comes Jeff Gordon in the 24, Tony Stewart in the 20, right up to the rear bumper because Denny's been fighting lap cars here for several laps.
Darrell, nearly 300 laps to go. Can Denny Hamlin keep up this aggressive pace and still have a car at 500 laps?
Well, he's a young guy. Let me think. He impresses me on the flatter racetracks. Think about Pocono. Won them both last year. Think
Yeah,
about
2000
the road
NASCAR
course,
commercials
Mexico,
were
won Busch race.
they were definitely the
This track
GOAT.
is flat. It runs a lot like a road course. I think he's doing a really great job, and I don't think he's abusing his car.
Oh,
Jeremy
Mayfield's got a problem.
Right front down, and like I said,
Flat
this is
right
when
front.
you build all that brake heat
Is he going to be able to get
because
down?
No cautions, no time to slow down and cool them off.
Oh, there's the yellow.
We're getting a caution now because of Jeremy Mayfield in that 36 car.
This will be the 6th caution of the afternoon. It comes working lap 218.
6th yellow.
Out of the way now because obviously that's
Get to
going
the restart.
affect him for a while.
And Darrell, pretty much as we have anticipated, Jeremy Mayfield, the 36 car, it melted the bead, which is all about brake heat.
These guys are just not, there's not enough air going to the brakes on these cars. Jeff Green's got a brake issue. I think the number of these cars that have had trouble, I think NASCAR, I'm not totally sure, but there's a restriction on how many blowers you can have under the hood versus the way they used to be to cool the beads of the tires. A lot of things that I think I might have to revisit here.
Well, I know what Jeff Gordon's going to revisit in his 24 car. He's going to revisit the lead of this thing. He'll take the lead here at lap 225, drives by Stewart in the 20.
Well, that's how you keep your brakes in cool and how you keep your car in good shape. Get out front.
Jeff Gordon leads for the 3rd time today. Hamlin has led the most laps. Gordon, Stewart, Earnhardt, Harvick, Johnson, and Kyle Busch all in Chevys. Jamie
Johnson's in the top 5 now.
Kurt Busch 8th in a Dodge. The first Toyota is Dale Jarrett.
Slowly getting up there. It's taken a long time for him and Kyle Busch to move through the field, but very, very slowly they're making headway. They still have about half the race left.
Trying to block him, he was trying to get out of the way. They almost got together halfway down the
Kenseth's
back
just
stretch.
slow in this one. He's been outside the top 30 the whole race. Lap down.
In the free pass position.
Might be about the best thing that's happened to him today because otherwise he hadn't had much fun.
Or the weekend, for that matter.
It's just hard to believe that a team can have a car that is as good as that 17 is week in and week out and struggle the way they have here this weekend.
Greg Biffle's in
Dale
14th.
Earnhardt Jr. car, the 8 car, he's just so good through the middle of the corner, but it's really a lot on fresh tires. You just had mentioned at the long end of that 60-lap run right there, his car was starting to go away, but he just drives by. Tony Stewart in the 20 takes over second.
Normally having a car good here on a short run is not a bad thing, but you don't get a lot of long runs under normal circumstances. So he falls off some at the end of the run, but I think he'll be all right.
This is the 2nd race for NASCAR's Car of Tomorrow. Only 4 drivers have started in the top 10 in both, and they've been contenders in both. Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Jamie McMurray, Denny Hamlin.
Speaking of Denny Hamlin in the 11 car, we mentioned after the problems with pit stop, he comes out in 10th. That's exactly where he is marred up behind.
Yeah, Jamie McMurray's still pretty high up in the running order.
Still in the 10th position, but he's boxed in right now.
Started on the front row. Hasn't had race-winning pace by any means. I don't think he ever led a lap, but still in 7th.
Real easy for Hamlin to use
3.9 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not happy. Young guy, he's probably got.
He's been by far the best running Roush car all day. All the other Roush cars have been way outside the top 10. Edwards hasn't been in the top 10 at all. Biffle's 14th. Kenseth's been outside the top 30. David Reagan's been around 20th the whole race. I mean, Jamie McMurray's done an awesome job
position over there, and then you lose 10 spots.
compared to his teammates.
we listened in on Jeff Gordon and team.
Hi, buddy. The weather is fine like it is all day. There's a pretty decent cell that's coming at us. It's 50-50 whether it's going to go above us, but it's kind of closing in behind it. You know, I still question if we're going to go.
Oh, Gordon.
Whoa, trouble for Gordon.
Because Gordon's off the pace. That looks like a tire issue.
What happened?
Worse than that. He did not come to pit road that time. No, that's why I'm thinking maybe it's not a tire.
See what it is. I got a flat or something. The left front there.
Not the right sides.
Oh, man.
Let's go. I can't tell, buddy. What do you got?
None of the tires look down.
No, I don't see it.
Straight when I went in the corner.
I think he just locked up the brakes is what I think happened to it. Confused him. He thought he had a tire down. Seen that happen to a number of guys. They just go in the
He's
corner,
still dropping back, though.
Let's show it to you.
Yeah, he went up the hill.
He's coming down into turn 1 here. I just think it was. I think it locked up the right front slightly.
That was weird.
I think all these drivers are so skeptical of this car, and there's so little knowledge that goes along with it, that if something odd happens, they don't know what to make out of it. It confuses them.
And then if you've seen as many tires blow a bead out, you even get more cautious about things, Matt.
And that was one concern that Jeff Gordon had coming into the race. He said it was very easy here in Martinsville with this new COT.
Well, he went from leading most of the race, now he's back to 11th.
He hasn't said anything lately. Now he's just trying to settle back in. Now he's all the way back in 11th.
Darrell, here's another possibility. The leader cleans the track for everybody. If he
Now
gets
Dale Jr.'s out in the lead.
Marbles or something there, the car skates. It's a car you've only run once before. What are you going to do?
First 5 races, 1 lap led. Jeez.
Yeah, and particularly this car. I think everybody's
Swan song season for Dale at DEI.
The car's back. Oh, something's wrong with my car.
That's it. So Gordon gets back on pace, but back at 11th place.
He dropped way back, though. He was driving very, very slow, like something was wrong for like 2 or 3 laps before he actually started to pick the pace back up again. Definitely wasn't a tire issue, though.
Slightly and losing the front end. I think that may be what happened to Jeff.
It's big, it's bad, it's victory red. You go to foxsports.com/Silverado for a chance to meet Dale Jr. and drive away in his all-new 2007 Chevy Silverado.
But you know the other thing, he knew that he wasn't sure. That's why he didn't come to pit road. Smart. He had to figure it out.
It's almost halfway.
Well, it moves Johnson up to 3rd.
Where's the hot dog man?
Where's the hot dog man?
He's led this year and hoping to
Martinsville hot dogs are pretty good, though.
Long way to go, but it looks
Got a
good
caution.
right up front.
What happened?
Biffle.
The Biff got
Oh, not Biffle.
Hopped out into the racetrack.
Hey, it wasn't Biffle that spun, though. It's Casey Kane. Greg Biffle got into Casey Kane. And that's why we have a caution.
All apparently appears to be good, though, Mike, down here on the...
There we go. There's a restart.
Okay. Yeah, it's dominance. Congratulations to Jeff Gordon. 50% of you picked him to lead our Domino's hot lap. And in fact,
Jamie McMurray.
On who the first of our 5 drivers was to cross the start-finish line first, I believe, was Jamie McMurray.
Yeah, Jamie McMurray, because Gordon dropped back right before the halfway mark.
And remember, you're all automatically entered to win.
Feel sorry for that 1% that voted for J.J. Haley.
This August.
You know, we just
What were they
Jimmy
thinking?
Johnson, his teammate Kyle Busch, we just saw him go by Kevin Harvick in the 29. That puts Kyle up in the
What lap did they have to make that vote? Was it before the race started? Or?
Doing a great job. We haven't talked about him a lot, but he's been hanging around in the top 10, and the car looks decent.
And Darrell, you mentioned Martin Truex.
There was nothing at stake. People were probably just voting for him just because.
His confidence. I think the opposite with Jamie McMurray. I think at one point last year his confidence was so low, but with every good run he has in that 26 car, I think his confidence just gets bigger and better.
You know why? Because he's got a great cheerleader now.
Larry Carter.
Yeah.
This is Jamie's first front row start since Infineon Raceway, the road course last June. He also started outside pole in this race last year.
Oh, Harvick.
He tries to close up on Kevin Harvick.
Let's squeeze Casey into the wall.
The number 9 of Casey Kane.
Well, I tell you, Harvick and Kane, Not any love lost there, doesn't seem like. They've been beating on each other pretty good.
Cars on the lead.
Marco's on the fridge. There you go. Well, this is Domino's, but still pizza. Actually, I had pizza earlier today. I had 2 slices left over from local pizza place. One of the towns like 10 minutes from where I live.
Came in and pitted a while ago after thought he had a problem for that last caution. Denny Hamlin, the 11, Jeff Hammond talked about the problems he had on pit road. Right now they're side by side for 14.
Domino's is pretty good. Marco's is good too.
Behind the leader.
I think Domino's is.
Well, Denny Hamlin's car had been getting very tight.
Them and Pizza Hut are probably my 2 like favorite.
Before that last stop, now the problem, all this traffic, the car
Domino's been closing that gap on him, I feel like, slowly.
11 FedEx Express Chevrolet up to 250.
And that would not be the first car that I've heard it was overheating. I got a report a while ago, David Gilliland in the 38 car, he was starting to...
Well, there's actually this place in Detroit that's called Buddy's Pizza. That's actually probably my favorite, but when it comes to like chain places, I'd lean towards Domino's and Pizza Hut.
Down in there. That gets full of rubber. I mean, that's one thing this joint will do. It'll get a lot of loose rubber flying around, and it can stop that grill opening up.
But one thing I noticed, look at the nose of Jeff Gordon's car. No tape on the nose, nor the bottom nor the top. But when I look at the 11 car, I'm seeing a little bit of tape up there on that top opening.
Boy, Denny Hamlin, that 11 team, they always love to throw tape on the car, don't they? Can't do it with the next-gen car now, but...
the unknown of this car tomorrow.
Well, that, and then
it's
he
bit
beat
him.
around a little bit, and he closed that opening up a little bit.
Anybody that remembers the 2019 championship race.
This is a no-tape race. Put that in the notebook.
Got tape race.
Dale Jr. out in front on Tony.
Oh, Denny fell back. He's in 15th right now.
And Jimmy Johnson.
He was leading for a while.
Closing on Stewart.
Now he's nowhere to be found.
Jeff Burton in 9th place behind Kurt Busch. Time for our second AT&T Singular Virtual Crew Chief question. What's your favorite short track?
Bristol, baby.
Martinsville or Richmond?
That's my favorite short track.
So text the word crew to 191 on your AT&T Singular wireless
Gotta
phone
be
device.
Bristol.
Singular's the new AT&T.
But you know, as we ride with Jeff Burton here in his 31 car, we talked about him earlier. He has made his way up there into the top 10, running 9th.
Martinsville's fun, but
right
Bristol's my favorite track overall, let alone short track.
Now all 3 of the Childress cars up there in the top 10 solidly.
Be fun to see them race at North Wilkesboro here in about another month.
With this car, Larry, the Childress group has. They've done a lot of testing. They're probably as good.
Dale Jr. leading quite a bit in the middle portion of the race after Gordon fell off the
One
lead.
amazing thing as I walk through the garage area, almost every team.
I wonder where Jeff is driven back up to.
Then they raced last week at Bristol. But
He
the Childress cars, all 3 of these
fell back to
cars are the
11th.
exact cars they raced last week.
And he's still outside the top 10. He actually lost more spots.
And we talk about them all the time. And last thing I wanted to bring
He's
up the
13th
car,
now.
Another new car I don't know anything about either.
I'd like to finish my hot dog, please. What do you think, Mike?
I'd like another one.
All right, you got it.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., your leader.
Larry Mack running down to get hot dogs during the commercial break. What's going on
You
there?
gotta be willing to fight for it.
Yeah, I probably got copyrighted for that.
There's so much about
Kid Rock playing in the background.
these days. Much of it
They were
written
going
by
to commercial.
mainstream media professionals who are held accountable by their paycheck for what they do, and a lot of it is spread by fans. Some of it's opinions, some facts, some rumors.
I wish Richmond would get a little more love.
This morning,
Like, not as many people
was withdrawing all 5 teams from
like
Martinsville
Richmond.
going home. The rumors spread on the
They
internet
put on
like
some good races.
wildfire until people
I thought both of last year's races were pretty good. I thought this year's race was alright.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just, I think a lot of people don't give Richmond as much love because the other 2 short tracks of the few that NASCAR does have on the schedule, Martinsville and Bristol, are just so much fun. Like, they're so great that I feel like it kind of takes away from what Richmond has a little bit. I'd like to go to Richmond sometime. I haven't been there for a race yet. Honestly, it's like one of the few tracks within driving distance for me, reasonable driving distance I haven't been to. It's only about a 7-hour drive. I think I've been to like every other track that's within like a 12-hour drive to me except for that. I guess New Hampshire's about a 12-hour drive too.
Here's Matt.
Mike, Thursday night, Kevin Harvick added the title of promoter to his racing resume when he invited
Marcus Ambrose in the picture on the right?
When you win a race, although it's not the grandfather
Looked like it. It might have been Newman, actually. Probably one of them. Probably Ryan Newman.
Just setting up the October repeat of the Fall Brawl when we come back to Martinsville.
And Matt, the challenge between Tony Stewart and Kevin Harvick, it didn't stop Thursday night. It moved into qualifying day here on Friday. I think Kevin Harvick
That might have been Marcus Ambrose.
raised $100,000 for charity.
I thought it was Newman. I was like, no, it can't be Ambrose. 2007. It looked like Ambrose.
Stewart came back at Kevin Harvick and said, you know what? I'll throw $100,000 in if we just.
I don't know who the guy on the left
was.
was.
So
Matt Yoakum, Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick. It looks like Marcus Ambrose. It's probably not, but it looks like him.
286 laps complete. Dale Jr. leading Tony Stewart by 3 seconds, and here's Ricky Rudd, second Ford in the race, 12 seconds out of the lead, 13.
Only one Ford in the top 10 is Jamie McMurray. Next one is Ricky Rudd in 13th.
Trouble for Kevin Harvick.
The 29 car is in trouble.
Oh, what happened to Harvick? Oh, no. He's slow, too.
He better not be fast right there, Matt Yoakum. 30 miles per hour on pit road.
Larry Mackey came on the radio. Harvick says the car has no fuel pressure.
Well, let's
want to gamble that want to make a bet.
Well, let's go back to Bristol last week. The Waterman fuel pressure system, the fuel pump system, and again, normally it's not the fuel pump itself. It's the cable. It's the cable that drives it off the back of the oil pump. That's what happened to Tony Stewart last week at Bristol. They're going to go behind the wall. I'm quite confident it'll be that cable.
When the pump's way in the back, the engine's in the front, that cable drive.
Tough break for Harvick.
He's
in the top 5.
That shortens the cable, tends to pull that hex out, and from my understanding,
Bill Campbell, thanks for tuning in. Ryan Preece on the pole.
Perhaps the cable
Good for him.
in a stock car is too long to be effective.
He was running really good at Bristol before he and Larson got together. Then he couldn't get back in the top 20 after that. And he was one of the few cars in the first probably stage and a half that was actually passing cars in the top 10.
And now we have a jig where it's almost bulletproof, but we don't know that this is not a cable that was made earlier before this process in the 29.
I think the reason people at home might say, well, why are they running the thing if it's going to break? Well, the new Chevrolet engine that they're going to start running, I think, next week or 2 weeks in Texas, it doesn't have a fuel pump. It doesn't have the fuel pump like we're accustomed to. So they're having to develop this system for that new engine.
And a bit of growing pains, perhaps, this week for Kevin Harvick.
So right there, you see the caution is out because of Robbie Gordon.
Robbie Gordon again.
He's definitely got a right front tire down.
Second time Robbie Gordon's had a right front tire down.
Steve?
Get the pit stops.
Larry Matt, Kurt Busch says he's a little bit concerned about his brakes. They're also going to undo an adjustment they made on the last stop. They're going to go down on the track bar. They're also making air pressure adjustments on that number 2. Matt.
Leader Tony Stewart says his car from about 30 laps on in the run really takes off. It turns better as well. Greg Zipadelli called for a small air pressure change to help the car take off better.
Oh, look out.
Jimmy Johnson going up one
Tony had to lift where he got squeezed. Kyle Busch coming out of his pit box.
Right direction. These pit stops were big because the radar
Clint Boyer was on the outside.
A little bit of a mess on its way.
Oh boy, rain on the way.
There's been a storm system brewing off to the southwest.
Bobby Clobber 1, thanks for tuning in.
Broken up as it comes up and over the Blue Ridge, but some of it may reach Martinsville.
Yeah, there's been a little something brewing here for about the last 308 laps.
Yeah, they got rain on the way, and
on their pit stop, they lost 4 positions. Not a good stop for them.
Not sure what's brewing, Daryl. It's not the hot dog.
it's like the truck race being rain shortened last night.
I'm only on my 3rd one.
Mike Joy's on his 3rd.
The NASCAR officials took all the rest that were in the box, and they're enjoying them next door.
They were enjoying them.
They're gone.
Y'all are just spreading joy everywhere.
Only eat hot dogs at Martinsville and watching Major League Baseball on Fox on Saturdays.
Nice plug. Nice plug, Mike.
It's the only you can get time coming off this restart.
Only eat hot dogs during Martinsville, when you're at Martinsville, or watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
He got a really good run off turn 4, but he had to roll completely
That was a good plug. Considering they were advertising the Cubs earlier in opening day weekend.
Went by him for the 5th position. Now Tony's fighting back.
Jeff Gordon working his way back forward again, though, slowly. Kind of the same way Johnson and Kyle Busch were working themselves towards the front slowly.
Have a look at that. They relay to their drivers. And away we go.
185 to go.
The race is intensifying, and it rains on the way, and maybe the end's in sight. That blue car with the yellow number on it
suddenly launches toward the front.
He has reared his head.
Jimmy Johnson, the 48, won the race here in the fall, but Jeff, with weather on the way.
Appreciate everybody tuning in this afternoon. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Just over 4,000 subs on the channel as of last week, so we're going to try to get to 5,000 now. That's what we're on the road to. We have live commentary for the Xfinity Series race coming up after this stream, so we'll double header for you guys today. This Throwback Thursday live stream obviously not happening on Thursday this week. Pushed it to Saturday before the Xfinity race tonight, so a little bit of a doubleheader for you guys. Still trying to make sure we got this stream out. Didn't want to skip this race that you guys voted for, or Throwback Thursday stream for Martinsville, and we'll get back to the Thursday being the Throwback Thursday next week for Talladega.
He loses 4 valuable positions, and it's really got him kind of like mired back.
Be interesting to see what race you guys vote for to watch for next week for a spring Talladega race. A lot of good ones to pick from.
Sometimes that cement that they use, that yellow 3M stuff, doesn't set up right. The lug nuts fall off.
That is teammates. Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, it's wonderful using a product.
It could be issues like that, Darrell. It also could be brake dust. A lot of times we forget about the rear tire changer when he comes around and he hits that wheel. A lot of times brake dust will fly in your face, and that could have also messed him up. Any number of things, but that little miscue, which cost him about maybe a half a second on the stopwatch, cost him really, more importantly, 4 to 5 positions on the racetrack.
That is true.
Saw Jeff Burton cut in front of Carl.
Cardinals beat my Tigers, too. Unfortunately. The season before this.
Goodness gracious, he's just checking out.
Wow.
And I think the grandstands pretty much tell the tale on this. They're pretty much all about 65,000, 70,000 are standing waving those red flags and hats.
That's the biggest lead we've seen today.
2.8 seconds. Clint Boyer got up to third out of basically nowhere.
He's a good 2/10 quicker.
Ryan Newman's in the top 10 for the first time. I don't think I've seen him in the top 10 yet.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson in the 48 second. They just ran the fastest lap they've run in this race about 3 or 4 laps ago on lap 318.
And also live commentary for the Cup Series race tomorrow, of course. That will start at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. Our Xfinity live commentary stream will start at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time tonight. About an hour. We'll try to get through the rest of this race before then.
Now Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car. Cars are starting to get strung out a little bit, but it's not that far from catching the tail end of the field. And that'll just bring Jimmy Johnson in at 48 right up there to it.
But right behind Jimmy, I tell you, a guy that we haven't talked a lot about is Clint Boyer in the 07, another Childress car, and right behind him, last week's winner, Kyle Busch. They are creeping into the picture.
It definitely looks dark off in the
Three
distance
Hendrick cars in the top 5. Johnson, Kyle Busch, and Jeff Gordon now in
for this
fifth.
Martinsville race.
170.
Wonder if there was ever a rain delay. I honestly don't remember there being a rain delay in this race, but there may be. Look at that.
Dark clouds, and when you can't see the hills to the west,
Dale Jr.'s got to be thinking, he's like, oh man, the wind's in the bag. He's pulling away. Got rain on the way.
NASCAR Nextel Cup Racing on Fox is sponsored by Toyota. Moving forward.
1979, his father won his first NASCAR then Winston Cup race.
Caution.
April 1st, 1979 at Bristol.
I was there.
What was the yellow?
But I wasn't here when Richard Petty was 22 years old and won his first race here. Richard was 22 years old.
That's the second time David Stremme spun out on his own.
David Stremme in the 40 just totally on his own up there in the second
he kept
groove
it off the
above
wall.
David Gilliland, no contact whatsoever with another car.
J.J. Yaley will get the free
Whoa, 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 whoa. What am I doing, Keegan?
pass.
What are you doing, Keegan?
In the championship standings,
All right.
and that's the part that just came off of Kevin Harvick. Chevrolet.
Oh, no! Now
Yeah,
Biffle's
when
got
Kevin
issues.
Harvick's
Gosh
car
darn
was in
it.
the garage area, Matt was telling me at one point during break, a crew member from the 20 car had the hood up. They were.
Well, now both of my guys having issues. Dave Blaney had a right front down. He came back in to the race, but he's like 11 laps down. And then Greg Biffle under the hood. He's outside the top 10 all day, too. Check it down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stremy trying to pit?
Racing the oncoming rain.
That's a late block.
Martinsville Speedway, 156 laps to go. Action aplenty mid-pack.
Well, I'll tell you, pushing, shoving, beating, banging, slamming. They getting it done now, boys.
On the restart, Martin Truex hit the wall coming off turn 2, but was able to continue. And then in the backstretch, Elliott Sadler almost lost it in front of a whole pack of cars. Watch the 19 on the left of your screen.
Oh my gosh! How did that? I'm surprised I didn't wad up there, honestly. I guess Stremy wasn't trying to pit.
This time, Dale Jr. is not driving away from the field as much as he did on the last
Jimmy Johnson up to second. Jimmy's coming.
Still got about the best hot rod out there, though. He's at,
Future 7 time is coming. Future 7 time at this time, 1 time is coming.
So clean air out front.
Tony Stewart 5th, Denny Hamlin in the 11-6. They've had a little bit of contact among teammates.
Then he's a little bit better than Tony, and I got to believe that he's going to let him go, getting down into 1 here.
Oh, maybe not.
Give him an opportunity.
And the battle for 9th place on your left.
Tony holding Denny up a little bit.
Burton in the 31, and Kyle Busch, last week's winner.
Now I've been watching.
Maybe I'll let him go now.
Remember, Kyle Busch was the first car to line
He better, because David Reagan's like right there.
He
I think he's a lap down though.
those guys like they were sitting still.
I don't think David Reagan's on the lead lap. There's no way.
Denny Hamlin has had the best race car.
Yeah, I was gonna say he hasn't been in the anywhere near the top 10 all day. Oh, Kyle Busch going 3. Kyle Busch going 3. Just knocked the 12 up into the. Oh, Newman's mad. Newman's mad. Newman is pissed. Look out. That is not the guy you want to tick off, Kyle.
There's no way he should have made it down in there 3 wide.
He just used. I've heard 8 wheels is better than 4. 12 wheels is better than 4 also.
You got to watch this. So this is the 5 car saying, I don't care if we wreck all 3 cars. I am coming down. And there he goes. He's up on the curb. Look at his brakes glowing.
He did hit the curb.
So hits the curb.
He hit the curb, hit Newman, and then Newman turned down into him off the exit of the corner saying, hey, I didn't like that.
Completes the pass and goes on.
The last guy you want to tick off is Ryan Newman, let me tell you. Especially if you're young Kyle Busch. 30-year driver Kyle Busch. Oh, Robbie Gordon again, right in front of the leaders.
And that brings out a caution.
That's the 3rd time Robbie Gordon has caused an accident of the 10. David Stremmy's caused 2 cautions. Robbie Gordon's caused 3 of the 10.
Darryl, I just believe
You gonna park him?
that is the caution that Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, Ricky Rudd, Kenny Schrader, Tony Raines, Martin Truex Jr. That's the caution they wanted to see.
Oh, we got rain.
Greensboro, Winston-Salem. You see the Impala pace car just ahead.
Rain.
Seems to be working really good here.
Well, I know you back with the threat of
Fast
rain.
forward through this.
That will keep you out front. That will win you this
Rain.
race.
18
Rain.
being down here.
David Wright. More rain.
Not make it because they have not been to pit road since lap 308. 40
They did get back to racing. Spoiler alert.
Lined up because he don't want his wheel. Just looks a little bit lower than I think it should be.
That's not right.
Low enough to pit.
Now he's one of the cars.
Had to caution for a while.
Hey, D-Doug, Larry.
There we go.
Plus, you're parking a car with overheated brakes. You're not allowed to. You can't turn those front wheels. The rotors might warp.
Steve Newman tries to right rear him. No.
That heat in the system, it can cause the fluid to get condensation.
You want to know why he didn't? Because he's a smart race car driver. Ryan Newman's got some intelligence when he's behind him. He's been around. He knows that's not the way to retaliate somebody. Ryan Newman's the kind of guy that's going to come up and just sock you in the face afterwards. That's the kind of guy he is. He'll take care of business off the track. He'll block and race the heck out of you, but he won't right hook you in the middle of the straightaway, in front of the field.
That's when his car works best.
And I think Junior's is maybe just the opposite. Seems like Junior's car possibly slow.
His rain tires in the rain, yeah. There's no point of really having them, honestly. After seeing the truck race last night, commentating it, the track was basically dry. It wasn't even really that wet. They could have dried the track with another 15 minutes or so of actually, you know, having the Air Titans out there. It allowed them to go back to racing sooner, but which did allow us to get to halfway. So I'll give NASCAR a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to racing our rain tires in the future, you know what's the point if you're going to get a cop yellow after 25 laps? Basically using the rain tires to just dry the rest of the track up. You know, costing the teams money, which we're all about trying to save money nowadays in NASCAR. But in that instance, you know, for them it was okay. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. I haven't heard anything from like NASCAR race control or anything of that nature as to why they made the decision they did. I'd like to know why, honestly. Maybe there will be something with like Steve O'Donnell or something on Sirius XM radio later this week. Maybe they'll talk about it. But I am interested to know why. Like, if I was at the track this weekend and I had a media pass, I'd be asking, if I got the opportunity to, I would be asking some, you know, people in NASCAR, like, hey, what was the reasoning for the calls that you made?
We've seen several cars.
And in the future, you know, would this be a thing going forward? Waste of testing, waste of time, really. I mean, you can't use them when it's actually raining, which I understand why you wouldn't be able to use them when it's actually raining, because the spray would be so bad on a half-mile short track like this. Like, the field's going to be so packed together, like they don't get spaced apart like they do on a road course, so the spray would just be terrible during an actual rainfall. That's why I was always wondering how it was going to work.
So Kyle up to 5th. Meanwhile, Dale Jr. 1.3 seconds up on Jeff Gordon. 128 to go. I like what Montoya's been doing, Darrell. Even though he leaves the bottom open, he's not binding the.
I like how the rain tires were having more fall off than actual slick tires do nowadays too. Kyle Busch mentioned something about that. I saw a YouTube clip of somebody interviewing him after the race. I'm not sure who it was, so I apologize for that. But they were catching him going back to his hauler, I think, after the truck race was over, and he joked around about the slick tires having more tire fall off than the rain tires having more fall off than the slick tires, that he wishes that it would be more like that with normal Goodyear tires.
He's had a good day, though. I'm telling you, no matter what happens, he's gained some valuable experience. There's another, see all that black smoke coming out of his car.
Yeah, don't show that side. That's not pretty.
But there's something going on with the black smoke coming out of these cars. We've seen a number of them do that.
Oh, he dumped him! Oh, Montoya turned him! Oh!
Caution will be out.
Ooh!
What a shame, having a great run.
Montoya dumps Tony Raines. I wasn't expecting that. He's mad. He had a mad Tony, and it's not Tony Stewart. Tony Raines is mad. Yeah, they made contact the corner before. I couldn't tell.
What you're going to see is.
Oh yeah, he
move here, and Juan just drove in there and got in the side of Tony's.
Oh yeah, he cleaned him out. That seemed intentional to me. I think it was because Tony roughed him up the corner before that, and Montoya was like, "Yeah, I'm not having it." Just dumped him.
We got all of our top guys that was at the front pretty much.
Jeff Gordon up to second.
Carl Everett's crew chief has just told him he can make it to the end of the fuel that they've got. They've adjusted on this car all day long. They haven't really hit it. Steve.
Juan Pablo Montoya and Tony Stewart rivalry at Martinsville 2007. Who would have thought?
Running in the top 10 since halfway in this race. Matt Boyer says his car is good. No changes for the 07. Meanwhile, Stewart says more of the same. The longer the run, the better my car gets.
Tony Stewart, 9.6 second stop. He is out of there.
2 tires for Tony.
Stewart came in 4th.
Is that why it was a 9.6 second stop? It had to have been why.
Third pit box just before you leave pit road. He's going to win the battle of the cars that made pit stops.
Kyle Busch stay out. That'll be fun to watch. Yeah, Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson stayed out.
We were looking at him in the 18 car up there in 4th. He was a lap down earlier, got the free pass.
And how about Dale Jr. now in 9th place, Krista?
A lot of traffic in front of these guys. My goodness. All the lap cars lined up to the inside of the lead lap cars. Plus guys staying out on old tires. Jr. was taking control of the race up until the split strategy with that caution. You can blame Montoya for turning Tony Raines on that one. Jimmy looks like he's kind of keeping up with Busch, though. Not letting the 5 get away. I don't think Jimmy's led it all yet in this race.
Still on the lead lap. He was one of the cars that pitted back on lap 361. That group, Jimmy Finnan, his crew chief, decided to stay out that time.
Stewart close.
Yeah, if it was Stewart, he'd get a helmet to the hood. Maybe.
Road service call there. As Reagan, whoa, 3 wide. Reagan dove under.
Wow,
Schrader,
what a move. He actually made that work cleanly.
Schrader said, what in the world? But you know why they did that? Because they know Kenny Schrader will hold his line and make the right call. Move.
Guys, while we're watching this battle, I'm looking up there at the very front. Teammates Jimmy Johnson in that 48. Remember, he was on pit road back at lap 361.
I think Jimmy's going to take his first lead here before long. There he goes.
Goes off into turn 3 and 4. He's going to try to take the lead from Kyle Busch.
Well, that 48 car has just been
quick and easy. Johnson to the lead.
Coming to the front, and now here he is.
Can you believe how bad that car was in practice compared to how good it is right now?
I know people at home said, well, they didn't. Maybe you didn't see practice. Just take our word for it. He was terrible.
But in his interview during the rain delay, he tipped his hat to the 24 group, Steve Letarte. They pretty much mirrored the.
What do I think of Brian Priest getting the pole? Yeah, I didn't know about that until somebody mentioned it in the chat a little bit ago. I didn't watch qualified. Obviously, we've been streaming this, but I mean, he's a good short track racer. I think he even proved that honestly with solid run at Richmond. He was top 15 the whole race, one of his better runs of the year. Hasn't been good at all in the intermediate tracks. Most of SHR hasn't been, but he's been shining on the short tracks and the shorter tracks this season, and Martinsville's right up his wheelhouse, so I think he can get a top 10 tomorrow, honestly. Very good chance he's going to be my sleeper pick. Oh my gosh, is that David Stremme that got into Newman now? Everybody's running into Ryan Newman. Kyle Busch and now David Stremme. Stremme's nowhere near the lead lap either, so that probably ticked off Newman even more. Newman's still in the top 10, I think. Nick Murray's 12th now, he fell back. Well, he pitted, that's why. Same with Tony Stewart. Oh, slow car down on the bottom. Couldn't tell who that was.
Riding with Jamie McMurray right now. He's back in the 12th position. Looking at his teammates.
He's a really good modified racer too, so he's got a lot of track experience at Martinsville specifically. I don't think he's going to win tomorrow by any means. He's not going to be my pick to win, but I do think he can have a solid run. Showed some speed at Bristol, showed a little bit of speed at Richmond. I think he'll have some speed this weekend.
In the top 15 right now.
Definitely has it. He just needs to make it all 400 laps now.
Dodge, 9 Chevrolets.
It's 100 less laps he has to make it, though, to the end compared to normal Martinsville races, so maybe it'll work out for him.
Jeff Gordon, 24 car, just got by Matt Kenseth in the 17. So Jeff moves into the 5th position, almost 5 seconds behind his teammate, our leader, Jimmy Johnson, in the 48.
Well, the big tip of the hat to that 17 bunch, Larry, because now in the race,
J.J. Yaley's up to 4th. Well, he was one of the guys that stayed out because Kenseth was. I was surprised Kenseth was still in the lead lap, honestly, for him to stay out being 5th. Ricky Rudd would have stayed out also. I think Boyer stayed out. He might have pitted. I can tell for sure.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a great car, but they did a great job of getting him there, and that's going to pay
All
off.
of SHR starting top 7. Well, good for them. I mean, Almirola won at New Hampshire last year. The Fords have good speed on flat tracks. I noticed that last season. I think that's what came into play in the Championship 4 race at Phoenix, too, and that's why Penske dominated. They weren't as strong at Phoenix this year outside of RFK. Both the RFK cars of Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski were top 10 most of the day. But then Blaney was kind of back half of the top 10 a lot of the day, but not really up in the top 5 competing, and Logano was nowhere to be found, which was weird at Phoenix. But I guess here at Martinsville, they maybe have a little bit better speed. And yes, we will have to get that stream started as soon as this race is over. We're getting closer to the end. 87 to go. Keep skipping the commercials, so that makes it a little quicker.
He got some track position, but obviously, I'm sure Matt Kenseth will be glad to get this 500 lapper over, or this weekend over. Actually loses 2 positions, also to Jeff Burton in the 31, the orange car there.
Can't hold Jeffrey Gordon down. We'll see.
Yeah, and you know what? I just believe Jimmy Johnson.
I mean, if anybody's got a car that can compete with Gordon on speed, it would definitely be his teammates. I mean, Dale Jr. was up there, but once he lost track position on pit road, and then onto this latest restart, I don't know if Junior's going to get back in the top 5, honestly. I mean, outside of the top 2 in this race, I have no clue how the rest of the finishing order goes, to be completely honest.
Boyer's had a solid run all day. The only thing I've noticed that car do, every now and then up off the corner, it'll absolutely turn sideways with him.
You see, it walked up the racetrack right there, getting into turn 3.
Did it walk up the racetrack or Tony get into him? Because that was pretty close.
So Tony climbs to 7.
You know what happened there? Let me tell you what happened there. When you look in the rearview mirror, that's what happens. This is what he saw, and this is what he does.
Tony charged hard on the entry.
Whoops.
I don't think he got into him.
Oh, there he is.
This place is such a hit-your-mark, line-sensitive racetrack getting in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you always run into the back of people. If you get them looking back at you, you can drive right by them.
83 laps to go. Jimmy Johnson in front of Kyle Busch by 0.8 of a second. Denny Hamlin, Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr. trying to close it in.
Stop. Victory lane.
But it got Harvick out of the car quickly.
Oh, there was absolutely no wheel studs there. The wheel just comes off. And
jeez.
Or lug nuts, or we need lug nuts on the wheel. Wonder if he had to be complaining about
tire came off. The entire tire came off.
40 laps.
Harvick's on fire.
Kevin Harvick's day has gone up in smoke.
He's out of the car. You see Kevin there. Comes in here.
Man, he had a rough day. He had to go to the garage earlier because of a fuel ignition issue, and then catches on fire under caution.
The way his day has went.
Well, he's had some fuel issues today, hasn't he?
Get to the restart.
Back on the lead lap. It may not be
Tony Raines getting the free pass.
And all those guys played a big. And that 11 tooth and nail right now. Elliott Sadler trying to get back on the lead lap.
Pick for Xfinity. I'm debating on either John Hunter Nemechek or Josh Berry. I haven't made my pick yet. I'm probably leaning towards Nemechek. JGR in the Xfinity Series has been really fast at Martinsville the last few years. But so is Josh Berry, and Berry just won on a short track in Richmond last week. Not in the Cup car this week, so his full focus is back on Xfinity, so... Yeah, I don't know.
And Darryl, I believe right now, and I don't anticipate that anything's going to go south on that.
I should say Richmond 2 weeks ago.
The Hamlin stays where it's at on that car. I think he's better than Hamlin right now. Hamlin's not better than the 48, but you better believe Jimmy Johnson.
Because I think it'll be a lot of short runs. I'm going to go with John Hunter. I think that'll be a little better for him. John Hunter Nemechek will be my pick to win today's race.
38 last time by. He ran a 48 this time by.
Berry's a good pick. I was really debating on them. They both qualified fairly well. Nemechek's on the front row, second. Custer's on the pole, and then Berry qualified 6th.
361. 2 laps ago, he just ran the fastest lap he's run in this race, a 20:38.
Those worn tires work pretty well here.
And that track position.
I think the rain really helped the racetrack. I think it just took some of that film off of it, cooled it down a little bit more. Rep is at a premium right now.
Jeff Burton now trying to battle J.J. Yaley.
Got a pretty good battle here for you. Got a pretty good battle for second, too. I'd say Jeff Gordon is sitting back there saying, you ain't heard the last of me, baby.
I believe right now Jeff Gordon is better than Denny Hamlin in the 11 car, but Denny Hamlin's running the preferred line. He just can't get by him.
And every time Gordon puts that bumper up against the rear of Hamlin's car, Jeff is explaining that to Denny.
Oh, yeah. Jeff Gordon comes in here, the points leader. You heard Chris Myers in the pre-race say this is the first time he's been the points leader in over 2 years when he won the 2005 Daytona 500.
Well, the advantage Jeff Gordon has, it doesn't matter what kind of racetrack we go to, he's going to be good.
He is wearing that rear bumper out on that black 11 car. I think
Denny's letting him go.
I've had enough. Just have at it.
That's what you do. You worry a guy to death. Earnhardt used to be the best at that anybody I know. He just worry you to death. You got out of his way.
Now that was Steve Letarte, Jeff Gordon's crew chief, telling him just get your rhythm back. You've got him. And because Steve Letarte knows that he has about 20 lap fresher tires than their teammate Jimmy Johnson, the 48.
And in 6th place, Kyle Busch has just passed Jeff Burton.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Chandler Smith won. Barry had a good car, though.
A little bit quicker than Denny Hamlin.
You're right.
About a tenth a second.
My bad on that one.
50 laps to go.
I'm still going John on the name check, though.
Martinsville.
Then he's like, he's gonna, yeah, and that was a smart thing to do, too, because now he didn't have to get ran over to lose the position. He could fall back in line quickly and run his own pace. He battled him for a while, and there's the risk of 3rd place closing in a lot quicker. Well, I should say 4th place, because then he's in 3rd now. Junior's in 4th.
Here I am looking at the rear bumper. Did we do a lot for those guys yesterday?
And Mike, we had Jeff Gordon on our trackside show on Friday night, and you know, obviously he's doing a lot of big picture racing right now.
At the Jimmy and Gordon show.
But just remember, if he can get
Jimmy
Johnson in that 48 car, it's 20 more points to him making the chase. 10 for just finishing first over second. But for every win a driver gets in the first 26 races, it's 10 bonus points added to your total.
Boy, he had Jimmy looking. Jimmy thought Jimmy opened up the inside because Jeff kind of looked to the inside going down the back. So he's got Jimmy looking. It won't be long now.
You know what they're going to be looking at here pretty soon, though, in about 2 or 3 laps? The back of the field. We've got a battle right there for 5th place between Kyle Busch, the 5, Tony Stewart, the 20. But our leaders are about to get in heavy, heavy traffic.
That's 2 Tigers going there. Both of them named Tony.
Stewart had a little trouble getting past Sterling Marlin, and Kyle Busch took advantage of the inside being open and worked his way past Stewart for 6th, or 5th rather.
While this is all going on, we need to mention Kevin Harvick back out on the racetrack. So here with 38 laps to go, all 43 cars still on the track.
A lot of lap traffic coming up in front of the leaders.
New foam in the door.
Now the Hendrick teams can all talk. The drivers do have a channel. They can talk to one another.
What?
And they can also all talk to their boss, car owner Rick Hendrick.
I didn't know you could do that at this time.
Be nice to each other, boys.
Definitely don't think you can do that now.
Big picture.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. were riding with him in the 4th position, but yeah, Hendrick car.
Yeah, this is true.
1st, 2nd, and 5th. Kyle Busch in the 5 car in 5th.
There's a little white teddy bear inside that 24 that wants to win really bad.
Yes, there is.
And I'm not talking about Jeff.
I was going to say, explain that.
Well, you had to be tuned in at the top of the show.
That's right. Now this is where Jeff has to be nice, big picture race, because again.
Oh wow, Jeff got a really good drive off, lap traffic getting in the way of everybody. They're trying to stay out of the way, they're just so gosh darn slow.
Right now, we've got 34 laps to go this time.
Wow.
The thing I like about Jimmy's car,
both of them are getting through it pretty well though.
It rolls right around that curve so well. All they got to do is give him a
Jimmy
room and he can get in
a lot tighter around the curve than Gordon. Gordon running a little bit off of it.
But you're right, Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy's rolling the corner a lot harder on entry. Jeff's getting back to the throttle a bit sooner.
And I tell you something else. It wouldn't take but just a little touch to turn him around.
Oh, there he goes.
Look inside. Is he gonna
He's looking. Oh, did he get into him? He did.
He's got room, but can he get the drive off the corner?
Ooh-wee.
No, not that time.
Don't you love this? Jimmy doesn't roll. It's Jeff Gordon, my teammate. I'll get out of his way, let him go. I mean, they're racing, and they're racing each other like gentlemen.
Not just his teammate, his mentor. The man who told Rick Hendrick, hire this kid, put him in a car, he can win.
We saw Jimmy's wife, Shanny, up on the pit box a while ago during the red flag. Jeff Gordon actually introduced Shanny to Jimmy Johnson, who, of course, now is Jimmy's wife.
Jeff Gordon have to do everything for Jimmy Johnson. Got him a NASCAR Cup ride, and he got him a wife. Like, what else? What else is he gonna give him? The keys to El Cajon.
These two guys have had a little bit of a run-in a time or two. There's another one. Montoya. It's a tight group right there. Looks like Montoya's got the best of them, though.
Montoya in the top 10.
Between these three guys, all still on the lead lap. And the battle for rookie of the race is Montoya and David Reagan, the next car in front of him.
And he's closing in on him, too. Montoya seems to be closing in a little bit. I like this battle up front, though. These
Man,
guys,
look at all these guys.
I have so much respect for both of them. How they race.
Jimmy's going to get held up.
Rick Hendrick, a great operation, man.
David Gilliland slow on the inside of the racetrack, but out of the way of traffic. And on the outside of the track, Truex is slow. Had a problem earlier in his number 1 car. Gilliland goes to the garage.
Taking the short exit.
Truex will make it to the pits.
Somebody else coming in, too.
Daryl, just watching our two guys up front, looks like Gordon gets down into the corner better.
Heck of a battle between these two. There's a lot of respect, too. Oh, there we go. Now he got underneath him. Oh, he got into him again. That's the second time he's kind of nudged that left rear corner panel. Oh, Jimmy with a block. Good little battle going on between these two.
Right there down in 1 and 2 that time, but actually it hurt the momentum of the 24 car.
That's kind of like saying, hey, dude, you cut me off back there, and, don't do that again.
Spin, Yaley in the wall.
Oh.
And the caution is out.
JJ. That was a great battle, too. Why is it whenever there's a great battle late in the race, and what has been like a good race, even today, there's always a late caution, and it just kind of throws everything haywire. Randomizes everything after that.
Of some kind. He said it wouldn't turn like a brake issue.
See how it happened, and then we'll...
Similar to what we heard out of Jeff Gordon earlier in the race.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he was coming in hot. It's like Bobby Labonte really early. Not as much damage as what Bobby had, though.
Getting down to crunch time.
You guys made that adjustment on the...
In 2 words.
Yes, sir.
Remember, Kyle Busch has
up here.
Kyle Busch moving Dale Jr.? When did that happen? I might have fast forwarded too quick. Sorry for that.
That's all fair in love and racing.
Boy, Jr. had to grab a big handful of wheels.
Kyle Busch is the madman. Oh my gosh.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of fun watching these old races with the young Kyle in it. he went 3 wide, doored Ryan Newman out of the way. He moves Dale Jr. out of the way with a bump and run. No F's given from Kyle Busch.
I think Kyle Busch would like to win this race, make up for that little comment he said last week after the race. What do you think? I bet he wouldn't say that about his car this week if he won.
Probably not. He's been told not to anyhow.
I'm thinking you're right.
Right now, Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car, he's actually stretched it out on his teammate Jeff Gordon just a little bit faster, 13 to go.
I just think that little caution flag right there helped Jimmy Johnson. Got his
NASCAR can't live without one late race caution. That seems to be the case, doesn't it?
They're going to be close at the line, but...
I mean, in this instance right here, it was a legitimate spin. There was a car backwards against the wall, like they had to throw the yellow. A lot of it falls on the drivers, a lot of it falls elsewhere. I mean, that was a brake failure for J.J. Yaley. That was a legitimate caution. Like, there was... J.J. didn't do anything wrong there. Nobody turned him.
Jimmy gets a good run off.
And that's been the case for about the last 50 or 75 laps.
I mean, Jeff's been on Jimmy's tail since about 40 laps to go and has not been able to pass him. He got underneath him a couple times, and Jimmy was able to get a good drive off.
Scott Riggs just gave McMurray a bump as they battled for 8th place. A little further back, going to try it again.
Scott Riggs is in the top 10? When did that happen? Good for him.
He wants that spot.
Battling for 8th.
Boys, Jeff Gordon at 24 with 10 to go. He's pulled right up to the rear bumper of his teammate.
And the 48 jumped a little loose there up on the straightaway off of 2. Gives Jeff another look here. I think Jeff's going to have to possibly give him a little bump to get him up off the bottom.
What a battle. Oh, here he goes again. Looking low.
You know what, Jimmy
drives it in deep. Jimmy gave him just a little bit of room.
we've been saying he gets to run off the corner.
Yeah, he's so good at getting off of the exit of the corner.
Good forward bite. Good
Oh, he got into him. He's moving him. He's trying to move him now. He's like, okay, listen, I've tried to pass you clean so many times, I can't do it. I'm just going to move you.
Seems like down here getting in is going to give him the kind of dime in the corner.
He hit the curb.
Work for him that time. Lost a little ground.
Nope.
I think, Darrell, to pass Jimmy Johnson, Gordon is going to have to move him out of the way.
I think you're right. He's going to give him a little bit of a bump to get him wicked.
There's a lot of respect Jeff Gordon's giving Jimmy Johnson here.
Briggs did complete the pass on McMurray. That was for 8th place.
This could be it right there, right there.
Gotta get
Almost too much respect. It's because they're teammates. I mean, if they weren't teammates, Jeff would have moved him already. Look at what he did to Rusty Wallace at Bristol. Did that a couple times.
Clean racetrack in front of him. One car up there, David Rudeman. 6 to go this time.
It's going to take something from Jeff Gordon to move Jimmy Johnson out of the way.
Just had to be a
Jimmy,
teammate.
I don't believe he's going to make that mistake.
Jeff took a little different line that time in 1 and 2. Came in high to the late apex.
He's diamond in the corner. He's trying to get a nose under Jimmy because Jimmy is so good on the very bottom. I think Jeff knows he's got to get a nose up under him to get him out of there.
5 to go.
There you see the 2 head coaches, the 2 crew chiefs, Steve Latorre.
6 to go. Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, 5. It was late to change on the top of the screen.
Jimmy made a good 1 and 2 that time. Got a car length on Jeff down the back. Jeff closes back in hard, getting in the corner. Again, he's trying to do that diamond thing, get the thing up the hill.
He's trying to diamond the corner off a couple times, but he keeps hitting the curb and he can't get the complete drive off that he wants. Oh, he's there. He's there again.
Here, though, on the exit, the 48 gets that good run. He'll win the drag race back down the back street.
If that was anybody else, Jeff Gordon would have come up right there. But
there it is. Bump, bump. I think he's going to
Oh. He tried. He tried.
Johnson come down on him. He said, you're not going to bump me out of the way. I'm your teammate.
3 to go. Teammates battling for the win and the clock and the ball.
Jeff got pinched, though. He tried to move him, but he also got pinched in the center of the corner, too.
Coming to get the white flag.
Jimmy's playing complete defense right now.
He's giving me no choice.
And he isn't. Jimmy's doing everything he can to keep him back there. Jeff's going to have to move him if he wants to win.
Jeff's so much quicker than him, he just can't get around him. He gave him a little bump that time. He's got to hit him harder. I mean, he doesn't want to, but he's got to do it.
You can't get to him in turn 2.
I mean, if you try to pass a guy for 40 laps, I don't care if it's your teammate or not, you got to move him out of the way. And he's been right here for 40 laps.
He's going to look under him there. Jimmy got a little bit off. He had to get out of the gas a little bit.
He's got to run.
Here we go. He's going to move him. He's going to move him. He's going to move him.
There's the bump. There's the run.
He's got the inside. They touch once, twice. Drag race. Jimmy Johnson.
by a fender. Gentlemen,
Wow.
he held him off. Nice job. What a race by teammates.
That was fantastic. I bet Jeff Gordon isn't terribly happy either.
It's what we've been waiting for 5 years right there. Awesome.
What a race. What a race.
Yes, you did.
Good, clean racing.
Yeah.
Had some chills there at the end.
Martinsville right there. Their teammate Kyle Busch, the 5, ends up finishing 4th.
Jimmy wasn't going to move over and just let Jeff go.
Now, if that was Joey Logano,
would
have slammed him, lean on him. I mean, Jeff did lean on him off the turn 4, but
Of the season, it was Jeff Gordon in 1996 who won Richmond, Darlington, and Bristol.
I mean, he was literally on his back bumper the entire last 40 laps.
Had Gordon won, it would have tied him with
And I mean, there's a caution in between there that they were under yellow for a handful of laps, but outside of the one caution they had later in the race, he was right there. He was quicker. Gave Jimmy a lot of respect.
You just have to have so much admiration and respect for that whole crowd, man. I mean, just think the shape they were in yesterday.
Congratulations to Chevy driver Jimmy Johnson.
Well, I didn't really commentate this, but appreciate it. We'll be doing live commentary, though, very soon. 7:30, bottom of the hour. We'll have live commentary of the NASCAR Xfinity race at Martinsville. And then tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time as well.
Jeff Gordon had to settle.
Let you guys listen to the interview from Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson here at the end. And
here's the finish. Jeff Gordon gave it his all.
he hit the curb. Honestly, if Jeff didn't hit the curb, he might have had a better drive off. He did that like 3 times in the last 5 or 6 laps. where he would diamond cut the corner off and hit the curb. This time he got into Jimmy, but then he hit the curb.
Welcome back to Martinsville Speedway.
So when he got off the exit of the corner, he was alongside of him and he was kind of stalled out.
This crowd, great day for Hendrick Motorsports.
I want to give a call to our two rookies, David Reagan, Juan Pablo Montoya. Finished up there in the top 16, ran all 500 laps of this race.
What a great side-by-side finish as Hendrick Motorsports wins its 7th of the last 9 Martinsville races. Steve Burns is in victory lane.
And Mike, Jimmy Johnson climbs out of the race car.
His first of many at Martinsville.
NASCAR Nextel Cup victory. Jimmy, you led the last 113 laps. What did it mean to you to outduel Jeff Gordon, the guy that told Rick Hendrick to give you a shot?
I'm speechless for that. I mean, I've looked up to him my whole career before I even was back here racing. Looked up to him and knew how good he was at Martinsville and just wanted to be on the same page with him here. And have a duel like that at the end, that was probably the hardest driving I've ever done. And then to have my bumper beat off by my teammate in a way that didn't jeopardize either one of us, was really a class act by Jeff, and just great preparation from this race team to give us 2 cars to go out there and fight for the win like this.
Jimmy, how did you plan your defense of that racetrack? He was so close to you for those final laps.
Well, I wanted to be on the bottom, and if you wanted to be outside, there's plenty of room up there. So I defended the bottom, and these bumpers on these cars are much more forgiving than in the past. I gave him the inside lane a few times. He had, I could see him coming, and I didn't want to squeeze him and run him up on the curb, so I left him the inside lane. But coming down to the checkered flag, he gave me a shot in 3 and 4, and at that point, I just turned left and crowded him and tried beating him back to the start-finish line.
Congratulations on a thrilling victory.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Matt?
A top 5 last week at Bristol, a second-place finish here at Martinsville. Could it be any more dramatic, especially racing a teammate like that, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, that was an awesome race. We had an awesome car, the DuPont Impala. I mean, the only way I could get by him was to wreck him, and he's my teammate, and I tell you what, it's going to be some interesting racing going forward because he blocked me really bad. I thought that, I thought I had, a chance at him a couple of times. He shut the door pretty good, but, I'm real proud of Hendrick Motorsports 1, 2, 3, I believe, and, like I said, I'm not going to wreck a guy to win a race. I tried to move him, but these cars, it's tough to do, and he did exactly what he should have done. So, I'm happy for Jimmy, happy for Hendrick that they won the race, but, I'm really disappointed that we didn't because I felt like we should have.
Jeff Gordon, second at Martinsville.
4 top 5s
With
in the
Junior,
first 6
a good
races.
finish today, 5th, but you wanted to win.
Oh, yeah, I think all of us out here did. We had a great car. I want to thank my crew. I'm frustrated that we didn't finish as well as we led a lot of laps here, but we should have the car there at the end. Hendrick Motorsports and Denny and them guys, they had great cars. Congratulations to them, and we'll take it. But we're tired of running so good here and not winning. We'd like to really get a win here, but if we stay patient, our day will come.
Debris in your
And it did.
You documented
It took a while. Oh, whoa, that was a quick transition to a Denny Hamlin interview.
You had to settle for 3rd. Is that good enough? And how hard were you driving those last 18 laps?
As hard as I could go. It's just the 19 kind of raced the 24
Young Denny.
harder than what I hoped, but it was a good race. Those guys started coming back to me late in the run, but I just couldn't run with them on the short go when we got caught on the outside of the 19. So one of those deals, we came up short again, and hopefully we'll get them in October.
All right, thanks, Krista. So an emotional Jeff Gordon. He blocked me badly. Happy for his Hendrick teammate, Jeff Hammond. If it's anybody else, does Jeff Gordon wreck Jimmy Johnson, or the guy in front of him?
Well, I think Jeff Gordon wins the race today if it wasn't his teammate. Again, I think he did everything he could short of turning him around because Jimmy's too good. He knew it was coming. He blocked him the right way. And then Jeff, like I say, he did not finish him off. He pushed, but he didn't take him out. Anybody else, he'd have been around.
Official margin of victory, 0.19 seconds. It was that close,
Dang.
and we know that Jimmy
19
Johnson
one-thousandths
did
of a
pull off
second.
his teammate, Jeff Gordon. As you check out the standings, Jeff Gordon remains the point standings overall. We head to the East
that didn't
break
hold
into
up.
Texas in 2 weeks.
Jeff Burton's always
Jeff
towards the top of
Gordon,
the point
your
standings in a
leader,
lot of the
Jeff
races
Gordon,
we seem to
Jimmy
watch
Johnson.
from this era of
Race
NASCAR.
in this race. He'll be back in a couple
Very
weeks.
consistent
He
was
the
Jeff Burton.
points leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Alrighty, that's going to end our Throwback
So,
Thursday live stream
welcome
here
down
on a Saturday afternoon. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Live commentary of today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race will be coming up at the bottom of the hour. Appreciate everybody that tuned in again. And I will see you guys for that one here shortly. And, of course, for the Cup race tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. See you guys And thank you for watching.